Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brewbuilt Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brewbuilt line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brewbuilt Conicals. You can trust Brewbuilt with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brewbuilt at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
Feels like work. Shooting the shit for 2 hours, drinking beer and talking beer. What a wonderful experience.
Can we not have the barf bucket near my mixing board?
I think everybody could read the book.
I knew you were going to use this book as an excuse to quit doing this show.
Mrs. Bub, if you want, I can mail you the Bub Timer.
Yeah, Newcastle, especially in the can. Have you ever had it in the can? No, I have not had it in the can.
Notice I closed my eyes and I concentrated really hard.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
All right. Hey, welcome to the program. Welcome back. Welcome us back. Welcome me.
We were gone? That's right, we were gone.
Just for a week.
Welcome to you.
Just a short little week. Welcome to the program. We've got a lot to do tonight, as always. I want to thank our sponsor, More Beer. Been with us since the beginning, since before the beginning.
Hey.
And I love them for it. They've been wonderful. You can go over to morebeer.com right now, and you can order everything you've ever dreamed of in the homebrewing world. You know that they launched an LCD touchscreen brew sculpture at the National Homebrewers Conference?
I saw that.
Always innovating over there.
Yeah.
That Darren Schleth and that Chris Graham.
Christopher Graham.
That Christopher Graham.
Christopher Randall Graham.
Sure knows what he's doing.
Disappointed they came out with it a month after I bought a sculpture for the new brewery.
That is kind of screwed up. Did you get your sculpture yet?
Yes, I picked it up.
Yeah.
It was I picked up my sculpture about a week or two before CBC, and then at the showroom floor at CBC, they had one sitting there on a sculpture. And I was like, so what's this new thing that you didn't put on my sculpture?
Because I would have ordered it.
Right.
Well, I believe that they are taking orders now. I don't know that it's actually even been officially launched to the public. They launched the prototype at the National Homebrewers Conference. I got to play with it for a little bit, and it's pretty sweet. I'm a gadget guy anyway, so I like stuff like that. And, this thing was nice. It was very nice. So go check it out. You can go over to morebeer.com right now, and they'll take good care of you. Right now, or tonight on the show, rather, we've got Noble Ale Works continuing our Southern California June. Noble Ale Works out of Anaheim. We've got the brewer. I think we have like all the brewers here.
A bunch.
I don't know what the hell's happening at Noble while they're gone, but nothing, apparently.
Nothing today.
Nothing beer-related, that's for sure.
Maybe they're lagering something.
That could be. So they all came up to join us in the program, which we always like to have them in the studio. And we got a bunch of their beer on tap. I'm having their Baby Gaga right now, which is the which is a cool name for a session IPA, apparently. Baby Gaga.
I'm going to try their Katie Porter next.
Nice.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I just made that up. It's not really.
Speaking of Baby Gaga, there's our Kim Shimke hanging out in the Hop Grenade right now. She's our little Baby Gaga.
She doesn't hear anything, so I don't know if it's playing.
I don't think anybody can. All right, so we got Noble Ale Works on the program. So I'm sure you've all been following the news this week. There's a lot of controversy in the air. People, I mean, it was a big deal. The things that have happened recently.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Everybody's talking about it. This Club of the Year thing.
Yeah, you can't get away from it. People are celebrating. People are bashing. It's a weird thing.
People want to change the definition of a club.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There's
forums are taking more bandwidth on the internet than porn.
They are. I mean, some people are shoving the definition of clubs down other people's throats.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
redefined. Yeah,
it's really a strange. It's strange. 26 pages of commentary over on the Homebrew Association
27
forum. Is there now 20?
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
Okay.
I think they're shutting it down, though. They're saying the thread's over.
Are they?
Yeah.
It was over 24 pages ago.
I commented on it. I had to chime in.
Sure.
You did?
10 pages on the Brewing Network forum as well.
Wait, so 24 pages and nothing constructive? On a forum?
Well,
no, it's quite clarifying.
I wouldn't say that none of it was constructive. There might have been one or two constructive posts in there,
out of the whole 24 pages.
27 now.
Oh, wow.
Pay attention, Beardy.
You commented as yourself? Or
yeah.
Oh,
wait, so was that the one constructive post?
I don't do anonymous. I think anonymous posting is such a douchey. No, I commented as myself. I chime in about once a year on certain topics, usually when misinformation starts getting disseminated. I don't get in there to argue about whether the BN is a club or not a club. I feel like that is an argument that is a ridiculous one to have.
Yeah.
People just have to agree to disagree on that. There's a lot of things I don't chime in on, but there was some misinformation going on, and I talked about it last week on the program. Not a lot of new positions this week. I did just want to mention, and you'll hear it when we get into the feedback here shortly. Of course, the Brewing Network Club, they don't want us to change a thing.
Of course
they want us to keep right on going.
Based on the poll that you're talking about the poll.
Well, based on the poll and based on feedback. Club members who posted in the forum, our forum, as well as the AHA forum. I still don't know where I'm at with that. I did want to read one post that I found in the Brewing Network forum that I found to be pretty level-headed, and in some ways was getting to the point I was trying to make last week when I was giving us a couple of options. It's posted by I Have a Big.
Oh.
Yeah.
A big what?
A big what?
Maybe that's the point of the name.
Go for that one.
I Have a Big, he wrote in, he said, hey, a lot of people commenting, everybody seems to agree that booing at the award ceremony was a really ridiculous and classless thing to do.
That's pretty much straight across the board.
I haven't really seen any defense of that, which surprises me that then anybody who was left to boo that.
Well, exactly. So does that mean that none of the booers ever post on any of these forums, or they just don't have the courage to admit that they did that?
I would guess mostly, number one, that they don't post in the forums. However, there might have been one or two posters that was too much of a sissy to.
Has there been a single post anywhere of someone saying, I did boo and here's why? No one, not one person.
So I was thinking about next year, actually, we should all just boo.
Just every
And then maybe they would applaud.
Boo! We should stand up and boo ourselves.
Oh, the parent in the room makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Reverse psychology.
That would be pretty funny. The whole table just stands up and starts booing at the top of their lungs.
What do you think Gary would do?
That's
his
what you guys
eyes would
should have
explode out of his head.
That's what you guys should have done this year. As soon as I grabbed the mic, stood on the table and booed me.
Get off already! Enough!
I would have.
Shut up.
Chip, I would have laughed so hard had you just done that.
That would have been amazing.
We should have done. You could have used the laugh.
I could have used that. That's true.
Gary would have. He would have frozen. I mean, Gary's a professional, but he's not a professional speaker by any means. And he would have. It would have thrown a hitch in his step, and he would have not known what to do. And I couldn't have done that to my friend.
You're right.
Yeah, but I really want to.
All right, so I Have a Big wrote in, the booing is ridiculous, but in the homebrewing community, there seems to be those who like the BN and those who don't. A lot of that stems from the strong character of the BN, which I think is a good point, actually. We do have a pretty strong personality. You do kind of love us or hate us, I guess. But that's never going to change. I mean, that's part of who we are. But this Club of the Year ordeal has given some people yet another reason to hate the BN. I think that's unfortunate because the BN is one of the best things to happen to homebrewing and the small craft brewing community. I think the BN could benefit from a public image change, and this could be a good place to start. The let's kick their asses even harder people are being poor sports as well, just like the booers. Not to get too sappy, but NHC is about the community. Strengthening that community should come first. If some fuckheads boo saying, we'll show them, that's not a very classy response. So this was part of the point I was trying to make last week when I thought about whether or not we should continue to participate in the Club of the Year. It wasn't just a let's take our ball and go home response, even though I made fun of myself for that.
Right.
It was more that are we really doing any good for homebrewing? And while I understand the knee-jerk reaction that says, F those guys, if they're going to boo us, we're going to come back even harder, I do also think, like I have a big is saying.
Can we just call him Bob?
I know. all of our serious discussions just end up like this.
That's what Sheep Tickler is really trying to bring to this.
I think he makes a good point that we're almost stooping to the level if we decide, all right, let's go ahead and organize and just dominate everything. Like, let's win the Gambrinus Cup. Let's win the Radagast. Let's win which has been proposed by some of our members.
Yeah.
Let's go in and quell all the arguments about us and just dominate all the categories. And while that's clearly one reaction to take, is it good for homebrewing? And, of course, I have to think about, is it good for the brewing network as well? This is something the club doesn't necessarily have to think about. I do. I have to think about whether or not it's good for the company.
Yeah, and that's true. So while I disagree that we should go back and try to take all the other club awards, I don't see anything wrong with saying let's just come back even harder and kick everybody's ass and widen that gap. Because, like you said, it's a competition, and that's just friendly. That's just competitive nature in human beings and animals in general, right? You want to be the best. We're getting booed for being the best. Let's show them what we can really do if we all try. And to me, that would be the ultimate middle finger. Like, your booing doesn't do anything. So at that point, stop booing and do something about it. Don't just sit and boo and be just total douchebags. Be playing yourselves and everything.
So I agree that it's the ultimate middle finger. Yeah. But my question is a middle finger what we want to put up? Because maybe we have an opportunity to change the way people are acting and reacting. And if by taking the high road and saying, look, us winning clearly isn't doing anybody any favors. Yeah. It does our club favors because just like any other club, our members feel proud about their beers. They feel proud to be a part of a club, and they feel proud to win Club of the Year 5 times in a row. So I do get that I'm taking that away. If we do this, I would be taking that away from our club. Yeah. But by taking it away, do we give more back? Are we the example that we'd like to be? Because if the Brewing Network is sort of everybody's club, which is something we've always said, it's Quaff's clubs, it's the Zealots, it's everybody's club. It's every homebrewer's club. It's more people's club who don't have a local club. But we like when the Brewing Network is all inclusive and we're really pushing the hobby forward. So do we get more out of putting up a middle finger, or do we get more out of stepping back and going, all right, there is a group of you, I'm not sure how large the group is, it's a very vocal group, that feels we're harming homebrew by doing this, and we're harming the competition anyway. Yes. It bleeds over into a bunch of other perceptions, and even if they're misperceptions, they're still perceptions. So I just think it's worth taking into account. Why are we doing it? And what would the Brewing Network Club feel better about still being the odd man out and winning all the time and giving a middle finger, or would the Brewing Network Club feel better to go, all right, we're going to figure this out, we're going to do what's right for the competition, we're going to do what's right for homebrewing, we're going to make you guys feel better about it, we're going to... You see what I mean? Like,
I see what you mean, but I think ultimately the club would feel better if the rules were changed one way or the other.
If we didn't change them ourselves.
Yeah, if the AHA came out and said, this is the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would like a statement from the AHA.
Well, I think by them not making a statement, their statement is very clear. The rules are the rules, and the BN plays by the rules.
But I would like to see them make a statement like that.
I see.
Because it seems a little bit like they're letting the tired, cranky kids control the room.
And me take the flack for it.
Yes, exactly. We're the ultimate deflection. So I think that's what the club would rather have is the rules to change, or us to help redefine the rules in some way, shape, or form. Because I think that's where things seem to be going.
So should I write
but
in?
Until then, I think we should just keep encouraging our club members to keep brewing great beer.
Is that good for home brewing?
Yes. I don't see how it's harming. Is it good for home brewing? I don't see how it's not.
Is it good for the community of home brewers?
The brewers are going to be there no matter what. If the Brewing Network stopped and didn't compete next year, Quaff would win, and Quaff would double the next club's score.
I keep hearing that. What is the response to that?
And so they might get all cheered because the Brewing Network would have lost for the first time in 5 years. But then the second year after that, when Quaff wins again, because they'll continue to double the score, those booers will be back and they'll be booing Quaff instead of the Brewing Network club. So what does that accomplish for the community in the long run?
Okay, so for the community, you're right. It does.
Quaff doesn't have a podcast. That's getting hurt by it.
So why don't they start one?
No, but
the point is, though, I think what Tasty's saying is, A, it affects the Brewing Network as a company.
Sure.
And B, the perception of the Brewing Network, because we have this podcast, is still different than the perception of Quaff. What Quaff at least has going for them is that none of the douchebags say Quaff isn't a real club. Like, they don't have any... Like, they have the misperception of being... not following the rules and being a dominating club, but that's the only misperception we have. We have that and 10 others. We have that the company is the same as the club, that they're not a real club, that Justin influences somehow the behavior of the AHA and the competition. We have really 5 other misperceptions.
People who want to believe that kind of stuff are going to make up stuff about Quaff when they're 5 Pete's.
I don't think
so. So they do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. There's always going to be those people.
Well, because Beardy's right. There's always going to be those people no matter what. When Quaff was winning, because Jamil was up here and Quaff is in San Diego, and they were cleaning out every fucking category, and Jamil was cleaning out every category, people were booing, and people wanted the rules changed. And eventually the rules did change.
Yeah.
And I think that helped homebrewing. So by Jamil not bowing out, he helped make the rules a little bit more different and maybe leveled the playing field forever, or at least was more inclusive, gave everybody the opportunity to do the same thing. I don't know if you read the feedback yet or not.
I did, and we're going to do it here in the first segment too.
Okay, so I won't bring that up. But I mean, I don't think that us bowing out is good for homebrewing either, because of all the people that solidly and passionately identify with us.
Yeah,
they don't have any. They don't want to enter under anything else. They don't have a club. They don't want to do that. And to me, I would rather do what's right for them, because those people are the community. The people who boo, I don't consider my community of homebrewers. Yeah. Because my community of homebrewers wouldn't do that to another homebrewer.
What about if there are potential customers? And
it's such a tiny amount of people.
Have you seen the downloads drop? Have you seen any repercussions?
Well, I don't know. We'd have to look at that data. Yeah. Here's one argument I would say to that: it being a tiny amount of people.
Yeah.
5 years ago, when we won, it was a tiny amount of people. And then we won again, and it was a larger amount of people. And then we won again, and it was a larger amount of people. And you see where I'm going. That amount of people has grown every year. And so,
or gotten louder.
I think it's the same general base of people, because 3/4 of those people go to every stupid convention anyways.
Yeah.
So I think they're just maybe tired of it. But I think the only way to determine if it's hurting the Brewing Network is to look at the solid data. Otherwise, we're just going on a feeling, and then that's...
Oh, that's true.
But
that's how
Michael
I do most
from
things.
California, who is a member of Quaff on line 1.
Oh, okay.
Fuck that club. That is the worst.
Is that even a club?
Yeah. I mean, that's the worst club. I've never met anybody from
Shut
Quaff.
up, JP.
Michael, JP's starting the rumor right now that Quaff isn't a real club.
I knew it.
Yeah. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hey, good. No, I just want to kind of give, this is my personal view, not the club's view.
Okay.
But one of the things a couple of things you mentioned last show was that you wanted folks to kind of write the governing committee or those that are kind of responsible for it. And my thought is, sitting there front and center is the governing committee. So how can they not know that this is a big deal over the last 4+ years?
Yeah, and let me just clarify, too, because sometimes I misstate this. The governing committee is just, I know you're not saying this, Michael. This is me correcting me.
Right.
The governing committee is an advisory board, so they also don't make the rules. But they could take your messages and deliver them directly to the AHA, who would change the rules. So I just want to clarify that, because I mess that up sometimes by just saying.
No, that's good. I just kind of thought that.
So,
the other thing is that...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, so I agree with you. They are sitting right there, and for that matter, so is the AHA. I mean, they're hearing it in the room, and I presume they're also seeing it on the forum.
It's their forum,
but it doesn't. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't write them directly as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and so for me, I definitely view the Brewing Network business as separate from the Brewing Network Club. To me, they're two different entities. So for me, with regards to the Brewing Network Club, some things I would like to see from the club side is, have they ever done a BJCP-sponsored, homebrew contest? Have they given back to the community, done any kind of community service in the Brewing Network Club name?
Yeah.
Have they been the host club whenever it comes to a city, like we just had in San Diego? Quaff stood up. They're in charge of, wrangling all the judges, doing final round judging, setting up the events for the tours, and doing everything. And I think that may be some of the misperception of, hey, all these other groups, and I get it, within the Brewing Network Club, everybody's spread out. People are probably not near a club, but on the reverse side, those folks that are doing all these things are kind of doing things as a club, and I think that's kind of the perception that people are like, hey, they're not really gathering like I am, taking time out of their day, going to meetings, being part of this, within their club kind of community, and that's kind of what I see.
So I think you make some good points. You lost me at meetings because I don't know that, but when you talk about being a host city and organizing as a Brewing Network Club and sort of giving back to a community or homebrew, I think these are good points that you make, and I think that there are things that the Brewing Network Club has talked about in the past and maybe not executed. And I think you bring up good points.
But those aren't the only points. There are other things that clubs do that aren't what Michael mentioned. I mean, just, they identify. The first thing they do is they identify with the club.
Sure.
That's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think, yes, there's an entire list of things that we do just like other clubs do. Right. And then there are some of these items, like Michael is bringing up, that because we're a non-traditional club, we don't do.
Right.
And like you said...
Doe's never did any of those things, but they won once. Nobody booed.
Yeah. Well, Doe's was a host club once.
No.
No.
That was by committee. No.
Yeah. Oh, even here in Oakland.
No local club stepped up. No.
Oh, I see.
That was by committee.
Douchebags.
I mean, a lot of them, but it wasn't specific. Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of people at Morebeer doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us at Morebeer were running shit,
more than probably any one club.
Yeah, it was tough.
Well, I think that these are good suggestions, good items that I think the Brewing Network Club should think about. I don't think that it excludes us from being a club, but I think what Michael's saying that I could agree with is it adds fuel to the fire. It gives people things to pick on and say, well, see, here's why. And I think they're good points that you make, actually.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, cheers, man.
I mean, they are good points. I think they're too rational.
For the Brewing Network Club?
No, for all the people in the room, because it really, I think McDowell was saying it, people are just booing because we're winning.
Yeah.
Because we're winning. It has nothing to do... I mean, it's a little bit to do with the club, but if we didn't win the second year and then we won this last year, there wouldn't be as many people booing. I think
it's not... It's directly...
the main people.
They do, but in far... I've been here listening to the boos the whole time. I was there when Quaff got booed. I was there when St. Paul got booed. It was very, very different. And also the conversation around it was very different. It is our boos... Like theirs, they have that one part that we're just big and we're winning, but they're really very tied to the club or not club argument. And that's what makes our booers more passionate. They have more fuel to their fire. They feel that they feel a little bit more righteous about it because they see a wrong being done to their,
Yes.
So I would just say it can't be removed from, this is something different that the BN Club has.
Yes. Yeah, but I think for the most part, I'm right.
Well, listen, I still haven't decided to become a total dictator in the Brewing Network Club. I'm still listening to all of these things. Like I said, I know that Quaff would be pretty disappointed in us if we dropped out entirely. Because it doesn't give them a fair chance, man. They 8 points this year, and I think 10 points last year, maybe even less, actually. But these are the rational parts of the argument that if I can't, I can say them till I'm blue in the face. But if people aren't going to hear them, if they're not going to realize that Quaff actually entered more beers than the Brewing Network Club this year, if they're not going to, and they're a real club, I guess. If they're not going to realize that you still have to win a medal and brew great beer, I could say that till I'm blue in the face, and ultimately, if this goes, I don't know, how long is this going to go on before the BN really takes a hit?
Well, part of the problem is you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's, well, with a few exceptions, Matt, there's no really dissenters among the ranks. Everyone wants to be, the BN is their club, and they're listening and whatever. Sure, we have people who are listeners who are in other clubs. I'm not that vain, but I think for the most part, nobody listening agrees with the booer. So, until we find that next level to get a platform to speak out to other people and have a conversation, if it's really worth it, at the end, it's a fucking homebrew company.
Well, so I agree with that, and I'd like to walk away feeling that way, but, it kind of is hard. It harshes my mellow.
Yeah, bro.
On the night of, the last night of NHC. And I got to deal with that bullshit.
If it makes you feel any better, at the Alameda Fair, the Brewing Network Homebrew Club cleaned up, and I didn't hear any booze at the fair.
Wow.
Yeah. Mainly because there's no award presentation.
Right, and nobody was even reading the board that had the results on it.
I saw either posts or emails, I forget now because I'm reading different things, getting a lot of emails about this too. Brewing Network guys wearing hats at like Pro Night and getting shit from other clubs just walking around NHC.
Oh, I hope somebody gets into a fight over it. That would be amazing.
And that makes me feel like, well, that sucks. I mean, come on.
But that doesn't even mean they're a part of the club. That's just for wearing a Brewing Network piece of apparel.
But that's what I mean. These misperceptions are still perceptions.
That's why
we have to deal with them.
Well, change a club name.
All right, let's do feedback because we're going to run out of time. And feedback has a lot to do with this stuff anyway, so the conversation will keep going. There's a few other things mixed in here. First, emails for Bevo. Dear Bevo, I was driving through Texas several years ago, and there were large plots of land with mobile home sections. Apparently, in Texas, you can get up to 9 units attached to each other for just one structure.
What? Wow.
That's a 9-wide.
That's a 9
wow.
9-wide.
Yes. So, living the dream, Clayton says, sent from Bevo's mom's Windows phone.
I love him.
Yeah. Okay, Curtis writes in, hello, my name is Ramajit. I have a very interesting topic for you. If I may just have $1,000 of your time, it would be great for both you and I. No, he says, in all honesty, I'm just writing in about the whole Club of the Year bullshit. Why not just base the Club of the Year on, say, the 5, 10, 15, etc. top scoring entries? First, you can't send the rule changes to me. I can't. You got to send them to the competition subcommittee or the AHA directly. I don't. We don't make those rules.
Sure, because I've been telling people that it's your. I've been giving them your personal cell phone.
Yeah, good. He says the other alternative I suggest is for some of these whiny ass bitches to get together and form a new national club to take the BN down. Something like Suck a Dick BN or Waka Waka We Hate the BN. Thanks for great content and lick at JP from Curtis. Actually, there were some internet clubs formed in the second and third years after we won Club of the Year. Yeah. This, by the way, just gives clout to the Brewing Network Club actually acting like a club.
Right.
None of them, even though like the Homebrew Talk Forum, I think, started a club. Yeah. They have far more users, I think, than we even have listeners.
Yes.
Didn't work.
No,
it did not. Because these club members really feel like the BN is a club. That's the part of the equation I think people don't get. They like to make jokes like, "Well, we'll form an internet club and take you down." Okay.
Yeah.
By all means.
Yeah. It's not a competition for the people who are entering. It's they identify so intensely with the Brewing Network as their club. That's their club, and they want to represent the club, and they want to show. They want to take pride in that and enter.
Yeah.
It's not just to win Club of the Year.
And by the way, we were a club, to your point, we were a club for 5 years before we won Club of the Year.
That's true.
So it's not like they started and went, we're doing this for Club of the Year.
Right.
And then, went nuts with entries. It's just not what happened.
No.
It really was just an organic club. Let's see. Hi, Swee Brew here. Hope you got the pics of my hop grenade tattoo for your party. And when do you get more shirts back up in the store? I don't know. Soon. We have some shirts in the store, I think.
We got. I can say for sure we got his pictures of his hop grenade tattoo.
We did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. You can go to hopgrenade.com and buy other Hop Grenade shirts. And I think we cleared out the store for NHC, and we just got to get some merch.
Well, now, is the Hop Grenade different from the Brewing Network? Because maybe he doesn't like the Hop Grenade, and it's going to take a hit. So that is more taking revenue away from the Brewing Network by sending them to the hopgrenade.com. God! Wow. You want to start by taking a hit in revenue streams. Shit.
Wow. Good ending.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm watching The Wire too much.
Okay, let's see. Who's this? P.S. Keep up the great work writes in. Hey, guys. I'm a new home brewer, less than a year.
Sometimes I forget.
But I discovered your show not too long ago, and I'm totally hooked. So much that I talked my girlfriend into going to NHC with me. Your support of the NHC is why I went. It was like being the new guy in town and getting invited to a party, only to arrive and realize that the guy who invited you was the least popular guy in school. I was really pissed off when I saw the table next to me booing, so much that it made me question what kind of people these are. I just wanted to weigh in on your solutions to address the Club of the Year nonsense. Number one, if you disband the club, you'll be doing your biggest fans a disservice. I'm sure you recognize that. I do. I think about that a lot. Number two, dividing the club in fear that people will feel like they will never have a chance of winning. Really? It's a damn competition. I'm a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, and I'm a recreational competitor. I get my ass kicked when I go up against the pros or anyone else in that trains harder than I do. But they don't give a damn about my feelings, nor should they. I don't go in and whine like a little baby either, and I would never boo my opponent. That'd be great if you got beat in jiu-jitsu, and then instead of, as you're bowing on the other side, you're booing.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Let's see. Number three, your first option of going about your own life and just keep winning is the best, with a caveat. Throw down the gauntlet and go win the Gambrinus Award, too. While you're at it, throw in the Radagast Award. See, so like I said, some people say, just kill it all.
Yeah, but he's testosterone overload, clearly.
He says the solution is to step up to the challenge, not down from it. If I ever enter a competition, I'd be proud to enter under the BN Army. All right, thank you for writing in. All right, and then Slow Brewer writes in.
Bless your dojo.
Now, here's an interesting one to pay attention to, especially those of you who are naysayers. So for anyone saying that the BN won Club of the Year by just flooding the competition with entries because they're so large, the Gambrinus Award data tells a different story. Working backwards from those numbers, I did not verify these numbers. These are Slow Brewer's numbers.
He sent the link, and I didn't think you would even click on it, so I didn't include it.
I do know Slow Brewer, though, and he pays attention to these things. Okay. Working backwards from those numbers, Quaff entered 266 beers into the competition for a total of 8 second-round points. The BN entered 256 total for 10 second-round points. So 10 less entries, 10 more second-round points. The BN also placed ahead of Quaff in the Gambrinus score, which means it got more second-round medal points per competition entry than Quaff from Slow Brewer. So, again, just sort of the argument that we're also brewing really good beer.
We're brewing better beer than everyone. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who's doing it. It matters that it's being done. And the only thing to do is brew better beer.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing you can do.
All right, couple more here. Jennings writes in, listen, this is how it goes down. He says, Number one, the BN Club goes balls in this year with contest submissions. Number two, through Kickstarter and a call to arms, the BN raises enough money to sponsor the AHA Club of the Year award.
Dad, that is genius.
So that number three, the Club of the Year award becomes the Brewing Network Club of the Year award.
Yes, so good.
Number four, upon winning the inaugural Brewing Network Club of the Year award, Justin takes the stage. Number five, Justin accepts the mic from Gary Glass, followed immediately by a brief hold, then dropping the mic. 6 exits stage left.
That's fantastic. That's exactly what should happen.
Do you think Rogue would relinquish the sponsorship for just 1 year just to let us do that?
That would be giving back to the AHA if we sponsored an award.
Yeah, that's not a cheap award.
Yeah.
We get an all-expense-paid trip to see ourselves.
It'd be the highlight of my
much
week.
Fun on the RV.
Do you know how cheap that would be for Justin to sponsor?
Yeah, listen, it wouldn't be all expense paid, for one. You're still buying your own beer.
That's a good point.
All right, Big BS writes in, hey, asshats, derelicts, blah, blah, blah. I just listened to the Homebrew Club of the Year discussion on the session this morning, and I got so riled up I had to chime in. Based on comments I heard while at NHC from others, it seems that the most negativity stems from the perception that the Brewing Network Club is not really a club in the truest sense. To which I say, F you, because I'm in the Austin Zealots, and my club has the same membership requirements as the BN. I joined my club the same way each member of the Brewing Network joined theirs. I simply started saying I was a zealot. That's it. No dues, participation, or bullshit attendance requirements. Just say you're a zealot and be presented with the opportunity to learn from some good effing brewers as much as you can, and then make great beer. I heard your 2 options for the BN to consider, to which I say F no to both. If the other clubs feel so passionate, they would boo a fellow comrade and homebrewer who is cut from the same cloth, just trying to make the world a better place for having better beer, then I say, start your own damn podcast and recruit others who share your principles, concepts, and ideas. If you're not willing to do that, then fuck you. Also, FYI, in case you're wondering, until the rules are changed, the Brewing Network and the Austin Zealots are just as much of a club as your booing, dues-paying, attendance-taking bullshit club that isn't winning medals. Maybe you should listen to the Brewing Network and learn how to make good beer. Signed, Suck It Losers, not JP. Okay. So,
Great
a lot
point.
of strong sentiments here.
Austin Zealots won a bunch. I thought they were going to take one of these weird club medals at NHC. They won a shit ton. No one's booing them, but I don't think anybody knows that they're not a quote real club. They're as real as we are.
Well, and so
they've been for a long time.
They're another one that had that there's some misperceptions about that. A lot of people go, well, the Zealots just should have won because of how many medals they as a club had in the second round. Mm-hmm. Well, the truth is, one of their members had most of their points in the second round. The dude who won in Kasi.
Right.
And then a couple of their other brewers. So the Zealots have even said to me, because I said to them, hey, were you guys counting points? Because I thought for a second a little come from behind win, and they were like, no. We knew we were way behind already. Yeah. And it's just actually a handful of us who brew great beer that win those medals. So you guys just keep on going. So, just another interesting thing that people go, well, the Zealots should have won because their club killed it. Well, a couple of their guys killed it. And that was
it's
cool.
First round, right?
Yeah.
First round matters, too.
Yeah. Here's another one with a lot of... This guy's angry. I normally don't write, but F this. I have a big, fat, virtual...
Oh, it's amazing. It's so angry.
That all the haters can suck. The fact that these douchebags are booing people who have won medals are stupid pieces of shit. I generally only enter a few beers a year, but this next year, I'm maxing out my entries under the BN. The only reason I was able to medal in the second round last year was because of the BN. The only reason I'm brewing at the level I am is because of the BN. I know you've heard this over and over, but there's a reason why. You guys are personally responsible for the level of quality in homebrew. Thank you. He said, don't even think of caving to the douchebags. Sincerely, from Gay Kyle. Sent from my big fat virtual dick. Okay.
Well, he knows most homebrewers are men, so it stands to reason.
And finally, hey, Brewcasters, thanks for all the great content the BN provides. I live in the middle of nowhere, and the nearest club is 180 miles away. So the BN is a great source of knowledge for me. Look forward to listening to copious amounts of BN on my road trip from the southeast New Mexico to the Hop Grenade next week. Sent from my obsolete Windows phone. Just kidding, those are dumb. I have an iPhone. So,
man, I'm dying to hear somebody make the case on the other side of this. Like, where are the callers and the emailers that are representing the other side of this argument?
They don't listen.
Go to the AHA forum. There are 27 pages of them. So.
I'm dying to hear it in real time.
I mean, I wonder if we can...
It's all there. It's going to be the same thing you'd hear. Go read it.
We should just message some of them and see if they want to come on. I mean, it might be really boring because it'll be the third week in a row that we've been beating this horse. But
well, this is why I don't get into the club, not a club debate,
right?
Because it's just
that's the whole debate, though, isn't it?
But it's a debate. It's an abortion debate. It's a debate that nobody wins. It's a debate that is just really strong on either side, and it just doesn't make sense in the end. You have to agree to disagree. I've been listening to this debate for 5 years, and no one's going to win this debate.
Okay. Well, someone did win the abortion debate. Debates do get won.
No. Philosophically, they did not. So you could say the thing. So you could say the same thing. Then we've already won the debate because the rules are the rules.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
But the philosophical debate and what all the hating is about is a philosophical debate, and that one just doesn't end. And the club thing is the same. And there you have it. So shut up.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Quick announcements. Really quick announcements. 855-WIN-DOTW. That's your Drunk of the Week hotline. You can call all week long. Leave us a message. Amazon shopping. If you click the Amazon link on our homepage, that's a great way to support us, and we get a little cut of the action, and we appreciate it. A lot of you do that, and it's just a cool thing to do and help support us in an easy way. Subscribe and join the BN Army. Just by clicking the donate button. If you become a recurring donor in the BN Army, then you get all sorts of cool things like email every month, and you get first dibs on tickets, and I don't know, JP sends you jokes, I think. I don't know. That's
exactly what I text you.
JP actually texts you in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Knock, knock. All right, get all these updates and more over on Twitter and Facebook. Send your show IDs to Scott the Jew, scottthebrewingnetwork.com. Send feedback to feedback@thebrewingnetwork.com. Do we have a Twitter game today?
Yes, we do.
Twitter game's brought to you by our good friends over at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com is a sweet website there to promote and help you understand craft beer, celebrating the best of American craft beer. What I particularly like is their beer styles helper. Go click beer styles right now. You can. It's a graphic helper. You can click on any beer style and learn about it. It's just a very cool tool that will talk to you about each beer category that you see them at the Great American Beer Festival, and you can tell your friends that you know all about beer styles. Go to craftbeer.com, click on beer styles, and check it out. What's our Twitter game?
Well, I don't know how to put this delicately, but I'd like to know what prevents Beardy from actually shutting up.
Oh.
It's a question. It's a demand of him that's been asked of
at least once a show,
across several shows, spanning minutes at a time,
right?
Put together, but he just doesn't do it. He's still
guys, it actually happened more at Firestone Walker than at NHC.
It's true. People just yelling out, "Shut the fuck up, Beardy."
Well, we spent more time with him.
On
the road,
but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't you guys. It was people coming up to me.
Too bad.
Yeah. What's the blockage?
What prevents him from realizing he probably shouldn't talk so much?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
We might learn something tonight, Beardy.
You probably not.
Yeah, we all know.
Well, fuck you too, Beardy. All right, go to craftbeer.com right now. That's our Twitter game. You can play all night long. We'll reveal the winner at the end of the show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Sergio from Melavino Meadery real quick. He's got some new information for us about proper fermentation. Then we're going to talk to the Noble Ale Works dudes who have been hanging out and drinking beer. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
The Siebel Institute of Technology Continuing Education Campus is proud to present their Advanced Homebrewing course. It's the first ever advanced one-week course designed specifically for homebrewers. The Advanced Homebrewing course takes hobby brewers beyond beer kits and extract brewing into the realm of advanced brewing techniques. It's 5 full days of world-class brewing instruction at Siebel Institute, America's brewing school in Chicago. Information-packed, fun, and the perfect course for taking your brewing skills to the next level. You'll be surrounded by the Midwest's most vibrant brewing community. Get more information at SiebelInstitute.com. SIEBEL Institute.com. With instruction from Ray Daniels of the Cicerone program, Chris Graham from More Beer, brewing author and historian Randy Mosher, and Dr. Chris White from White Labs Yeast. The Siebel Institute Advanced Homebrewing course. Learn more at SiebelInstitute.com.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring Monk's Blood. Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer. Whether for yourself or as a gift, when you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
What could be better than great blues music and great beer?
Yeah, rock your summer right at the 6th Annual Pleasant Hill Blues and Brews Festival, Saturday, July 18th.
Come enjoy tasty beer, delicious food, and free live music.
The Chris Kane Band, Frankie G and the Conviction, Spin Out, Carumpus Room, and the Used Blues Band.
Unlimited beer tasting and VIP access available at beautiful Pleasant Hill Park. More than 25 of the best and some of the newest Bay Area breweries will be on hand, like
Sierra Nevada, Speakeasy, Mendocino Brewing, Drake's, Ale Industries, Rocksteady, and more.
Get your tickets right now for the Blues and Brews Festival at bluesandbrewsfestival.com. And Friday night will be a pre-party concert from 6 to 9 p.m.
Come enjoy the music of the Big Jangle.
Don't miss the Pleasant Hill Blues and Brews Festival for great blues and great brews. Get your tickets today.
Brewcasters are back. 888-401 beer.
Whatever.
All right, welcome back to the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. We have a lot to do tonight. I was planning on driving home tonight, but these Noble guys are brewing some good beer. We'll be talking to Noble Ale Works here in just a little while. In the meantime, we've got Sergio back with us from Melavino Meadery. Sergio, what's happening, man?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Not much. Welcome back to the program.
Yeah, my pleasure.
What's been happening at Melavino? You guys have been kicking ass since you opened, just last year, right?
Yeah, we've not even. We're 9.5 months into business right now. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, everything's been going really, really well.
I see that you're growing already. You're going from 38 barrels or something to 130?
To 130 barrel capacity per fill, and we're looking to fill our tanks 8 times a year, and our target is to fill them 12 times a year, actually.
Good for you. And let me jog my memory. You're in Jersey, right?
Yeah, we're in New Jersey.
And then where are you sending all this meat? Is it all on the eastern seaboard or what?
Into the water.
Yeah.
Actually, right now, the only type of business we've really been conducting is tours and tastings. We have a good 175 people coming into our meadery every single weekend for tours and tastings, and we've managed to sell every single bottle that we make through tours and tastings and through our online store as well.
Good for you.
We haven't even started distribution yet.
That's amazing. Well, I'm proud of you, Sergio.
Appreciate it, man.
So you're here to teach us a little bit about fermentation management in mead.
Yes. Yeah, so... I heard you guys talking about how I gave my my biggest tip on the last time I gave some mead tips on the BN.
Yeah.
So this segment is not going to be on bottle selection. It's actually going to be on fermentation temperature control, basically.
Okay, good, because the Brewing Network club members need to win in the mead category next year.
Yeah, step it up, guys.
Yeah, well, Sergio won in the mead category at the actually the whole thing, right? Meadery of the year at a competition. And I just want to say, Sergio, you're not a real meadery.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because you won.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Listen, everybody's going to hate whoever's on top, man.
That's true. All right, so talk to me about temperature control and what's important in mead.
Yeah, so during fermentation, after you get your nutrient additions, like I spoke about on the last Mead Made Right segment, it really all comes down to fermentation management, basically. So two of the most important pieces of information that I have to anybody who's looking to make great mead is, number one, fermentation temperature. The best temperatures, in my opinion, to ferment mead would be at like your low 60s, 60, 62 degrees preferably. But then also degassing. So mead fermentations, wine yeast fermentations produce a hell of a lot of CO2. All that CO2 that builds up becomes toxic to the yeast. So in the complete opposite manner of what you would do if you were brewing beer, where you don't want to introduce any oxygen to the beer after you pitch your yeast, with mead making, you kind of actually want to introduce oxygen and help the yeast throughout fermentation. So by removing the CO2 during fermentation, you're also introducing oxygen, mainly by either a method of just swirling a carboy, which I technically wouldn't recommend, because there could be so much CO2 that you just create a huge geyser to come out of your carboy because of the limited because of the head space of the carboy, limiting the escape of CO2 easily. Instead, I always recommend anybody who makes mead, their primary fermentation, start in, if you're doing a 5-gallon batch, start in like a 7 or 8 gallon bucket instead of a carboy. So that way you can easily degas your mead by use of a stirring wand on a power drill or something like that.
Is this similar to wine, where you want oxygen to be in there with wine yeast as well? Basically the same.
Yeah, because basically, I think some of the best yeast, or some of the best meads are made with traditional wine yeast.
Okay.
And that's the same thing we do at the meadery, same thing I did at home. And so you're going to follow kind of like the same protocols and same requirements as if you were making wine.
Okay. And of course, the bucket idea is a good idea for safety as well. Our very own Beardy about cut off his hand the other day with a carboy. So you don't want to be shaking those things around.
No, not at all. I'll tell you this: the ceiling in my basement is multicolored.
Okay, from losing stoppers and geysers.
No, he just has weird taste in paint.
Right,
it's apropos of nothing.
Yeah, no, you swirl the wrong carboy, even a really light swirl or shake of that carboy. If there's that much CO2. A really strong fermentation, it's just going to create a geyser, and there's nothing to prevent the mess from happening once it starts.
Right.
Okay.
And then, I don't know why, but I was always under the impression that temperature didn't matter a whole lot with wine yeast and mead yeast, but you're saying the opposite.
Oh, any yeast is going to matter as far as what temperature you ferment at. So, same thing, for example, if you're using a Belgian strain, if you're making beer.
Yeah.
And, the higher temperatures you ferment at, you can start getting those banana and clove-like qualities or even bubble gum. Different temperatures are going to produce different flavors. Some fruity esters also, even with wine yeast, if you're fermenting at higher temperatures.
Okay.
But the main reason that I always like fermenting at lower temperatures, 60, 62 degrees Fahrenheit, is mainly for producing a really nice, smooth-tasting mead. You're not going to get a lot of the fusel alcohol aroma or taste out of it at that low of a fermentation temperature. So you can make meads that are in the 14, 16, even 18% alcohol ranges, and you would never guess that they're that strong because they're nice and easy to drink.
Got it. And do you select, like brewers do you select a different strain of yeast for all of your different meads, or do you kind of just have a house yeast?
Yeah, for the most part, I use Lalvin 71B, the Narbonne yeast. That's a great yeast for making mead. It matures nice and young. You could drink your meads a lot sooner as well. On the commercial side, it obviously even makes even better sense. But, we do use other yeast for particular recipes. So if we're making sizers, a mead made with apple cider, for example, we'll use D47. So that's a great yeast. Even in a traditional mead with just honey and water, you get some real nice like apple notes from that yeast. So we like to use those for sizers to even more amplify the apple character of the apple cider that we use in those meads as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can get a lot of different types of flavors and character from, just like in beer making. You're going to get a completely different end result if you use a completely different yeast.
All right.
How long is the typical mead fermentation?
So fermentation itself, alcohol production, if you follow the nutrient addition regimen that I put together, which is built up the name TOSNA. It stands for a Tailored Organic Standard Nutrient Addition. You could ferment 14% in 2 weeks flat.
So in that 2 weeks, how often should you be doing this off-gassing?
So, yeah, that's actually a good question. So
what do you mean
want
actually?
to do it basically every day, at least twice a day for the first week, more or less. So the technical time period that you want to continue degassing for would be until you reach your 1/3 sugar break. So if you were to take your starting gravity and assume it's going to ferment down to 0, you just subtract your 33%, and at that specific gravity, that would be your 1/3 sugar break. That's when you kind of want to stop degassing, because then at that point, the mead is more or less halfway through fermentation. You don't want to you don't want to continue introducing oxygen into that must during the second half of fermentation.
Wow, good to know. Okay.
Yeah. So that was actually a good question. I didn't think of.
How do you guys plan on doing this as your meadery is growing? How do you do that on a commercial scale, kind of rousing and degassing?
So the funny thing is, our first run of batches, I tried to, I went from 5 gallons on my 5-gallon batch scale on my kitchen counter to now making 285-gallon batches in each tank. So there was definitely a big learning curve. Our first run of batches, I would get up on a ladder and stick, a battery-powered drill with a plastic stirrer and try to degas 285 gallons.
Nice.
That did not work. Did not work very well.
That was actually a stupid idea.
Yeah.
So now, what we ended up doing was, I saw one day somebody pouring a warm soda into a glass, and I said, well, not that I'm a big soda guy, but that's kind of like a waste of soda. You're just degassing everything. You're not going to have any carbonation. It's just all foam in the glass. And a light bulb went off in my head. And I said, well, why don't we do that with the mead? So we get our mixing tank, and this is how we degas now. We get our mixing tank, and we pump out of our fermentation tank over the top into our mixing tank and basically just splash everything around. Everything foams up the same way a warm soda would go into a pint glass, for example. Everything degasses, and then we just pump it right back into the fermentation tank, and it's all CO2 is removed, and it's a much quicker and simpler process as well.
It sounds like it. Now, so your fermentation tanks, are they glycol controlled, just like a beer tank, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we have your standard stainless steel wine fermentation tanks. They're all glycol jacketed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We have to. Yeah.
I bet. All right. Well, Sergio, thank you for the good advice. Folks, you can go to mellovino.com right now and check it out. Is that picture of you dumping honey right there, Sergio?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're still buying all our honey in buckets. So.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The last thing I needed to learn is how to manipulate a 600-pound drum of honey. So we're sticking with buckets for now.
Good call.
But, and also just wanted to kind of coin in on the whole Homebrew Club of the Year thing.
Okay.
So I'm actually a part of the Wales Homebrew Club from here in Jersey that won the Gambrinus.
Yes.
Homebrew Club of the Year.
By the way, congrats on that.
Yeah, never heard of it.
I want a big shout out to them. We had Don and Stephen Boyle from our Homebrew Club also win Mead Maker of the Year. And so a good friend of ours in the New York City Homebrewers Guild, Oscar Norlander, won Brewer of the Year as well. So I just wanted to rub it in everybody's face on the West Coast how the East Coast basically dominated 5 out of the 6 awards that actually mattered at NHC.
You did. You guys killed it. And you were also, I saw those guys coming off the stage. We sit right next to the stage. And they were all very gracious and very good sports about winning, too. So I'll give you that as well.
Yeah, and it's like to anybody who thinks that, you guys winning the Homebrew Club of the Year award is bad for beer, shut up.
Right.
Keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys are motivating a lot of people to brew beer for the first time or brew better beer, and I think what you guys are doing is great. If it wasn't for you guys, I probably never would have came across Moonlight Meadery, for example. Never would have thought of ever opening my own meadery a shot. And so you guys help everybody in one way or another, whether it's just in their hobby or in a professional sense. So keep doing what you're doing. Let the AHA figure it out, and just keep brewing beer, man.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that Mellow Vino exists. I still have some bottles in my wine fridge too.
You mean at Scott's house?
Scott actually delivered those to me, and I bust them out from time to time, especially when I get people over that go, I don't really like beer, and I go, all right, well, check this out. So you're making good stuff, Sergio.
Yeah, I just gave it to him, Sergio, because I know he doesn't like sweet stuff, so they'll basically just sit there forever until I can come over and drink them.
And your fridge is full already.
That's right. Well, no, I drank all the Mellow Vino already.
It's like how I buy my father the good bottles of scotch, so I have something good to drink when I go over.
Right. Exactly. Because he won't touch them. All right, Sergio, thanks, brother.
All right, guys.
Cheers. Take care. Go to mellowvino.com right now and check it out. They're doing good things over there, and Sergio's a good guy. Thanks for the help teaching us a little bit about mead. We're going to take another really quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk to the boys from Noble. I've got their Pilsner in my glass right now.
Me too. It's great.
It's a nice beer, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to learn about that. Why is it a Pilsner? And a lot of their other beers as well.
It's near Disneyland.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
It's not called like Ears Near.
Yeah.
That's their new podcast. Is that a trademark?
Are they fucking doing a Disney? Where's my belt?
Hang in there. It's The Session, and we'll be right back with Noble Ale Works from Anaheim.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Craft beer and kick-ass music. This is the year to attend the 20th Annual Mammoth Festival of Beers and Bluesapalooza in beautiful Mammoth Lakes, California. Enjoy more than 80 breweries like Mammoth Brewing, Anchor, Fireman's, Bear Republic, Anderson Valley, Stone, Green Flash, Firestone Walker, Sierra Nevada, Lagunitas, Deschutes, and many, many more. On stage, you'll hear Trombone Shorty and Orleans Avenue, Johnny Lang, Robert Cray, Robin Ford, Ruthie Foster, Carolyn Wonderland, Tommy Castro and the Painkillers, the Sly Brothers, and much more. It's the most incredible lineup ever to take a Mammoth stage. Don't miss the 20th Annual Mammoth Festival of Beers and Bluesapalooza, Thursday, July 30th through Sunday, August 2nd. Tickets and more information at MammothBluesBrewsFest.com or call 888-825-5484. Tickets for some events will sell out early. Get yours at MammothBluesBrewsFest.com or call 888-825-5484 today.
Limited time only. Enter promo code BNARMY during January and February for 10% off any Monster Mill. Don't settle for the second best grain mill. You want a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware. Monster Mills are tough, come in 2 and 3 roller designs, and are made right here in the USA from superior materials for longer lasting performance. Pick the mill that's right for you at monsterbrewinghardware.com and take Bevo's advice.
Trust me, it's always better to have a bigger tool than you think you need.
Monster Mills have the best warranty in the business. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit monsterbrewinghardware.com now and check out all the mills and mill accessories. Remember, during January and February, for 10% off any mill, enter promo code BNARMY. For nearly 40 years, one organization has had your back. The American Homebrewers Association. Are you a member? Why not? Join the more than 40,000 brewers who enjoy all the American Homebrewers Association has to offer. Like Zymurgy Magazine, in print and online, plus the Zymurgy app. Zymurgy is the leading publication for amateur brewers around the world. Supporters also get member deals at their local breweries, bars, and homebrew shops. These alone quickly pay for your membership. You'll also get great member-only resources at homebrewersassociation.org and access to AHA events like the National Homebrewers Conference and the National Homebrew Competition. The American Homebrewers Association promotes the hobby of homebrewing, protects the interests of homebrewers, and brings beer lovers together. Become a member today. It costs less than a batch of beer and gives back so much more. Visit homebrewersassociation.org.
3-time Ninkasi Award winner and Grandmaster Judge Gordon Strong invites you on a guided journey of what's new in the world of homebrewing. Modern homebrew recipes, exploring styles, and contemporary techniques available now from Brewers Publications. Gordon brings you specific advice and sensory profiles for as-brewed, award-winning beers with delicious variations to get your creative juices flowing. This is more than just a book of recipes. It sets brewers on the path to discovering what's new in the world of homebrewing. AHA Director Gary Glass says, if you want to enter competitions or just learn more about styles that you might not have experience with, this book is going to help you tremendously. By emulating what Gordon does, you're going to make better beer. Modern homebrew recipes, exploring styles, and contemporary techniques by Gordon Strong. Available right now from brewerspublications.com and find brewing retailers near you.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small. Single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy f***ing shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Segmented, demented, fermented.
It's the session.
Steel Panther was just in town last week, I think.
That's right.
Oh, we missed him.
And we did miss him.
Too much going on this weekend.
Yeah, it's the first time they've been to town that we've missed, I think. It was a shame. Hey, speaking of awesome things happening, the Mammoth 20th annual, actually, Mammoth Festival of Beers and Blues-a-Palooza is coming up. It's July 30th through August 2nd, and the Brewing Network's going to be there for the first time ever. I've been wanting to go to this thing for years because they get great music there, and they've got like over 80 craft breweries.
I thought you were going to say 80 bands. I'm like, that's insane.
That would be insane. They have a lot of bands, too, but 80 craft breweries is enormous, too. But they've been doing this for a while. They know what they're doing. Go over to MammothBluesBrewsFest.com right now. You can check it out, and you can get tickets that way. Just go to the fest, and there's the website there, and there's a big old ticket link. You can also call 888-825-5484. 888-825-5484, and you can get tickets that way. They will sell out, so you should get them. It's a couple-day festival. Man, they got a lot of people playing. Trombone Shorty and Orleans Avenue is playing. Robert Cray, Johnny Lang, Robin Ford, Carolyn Wonderland, Ruthie Foster, Tommy Castro and the Painkillers, the Suffers, the Slide Brothers. I mean, the list goes on. John Namath, Head and Sayers, the Delta Saints, Jelly Bread, Shane Dwight, Raquel Rodriguez, and the Mark Sexton Band. I mean, what a lineup they've got. Plus, like I said, over 80 craft breweries. And it's up in Mammoth Lakes, California, which is a pretty sweet place to go.
Is it?
We're bringing up the bunker. We're going to drive the RV up.
Oh, nice.
I think we're crashing right at the... We're just going to park in the brewery parking lot and, I don't know, piss in the parking lot or something.
I think we should.
We're going to have a good time. So come hang out with us. Go to MammothBluesBrewsFest.com right now and check it out. Get your tickets because it sells out. So you need to go get them now. So we got the dudes from Noble Ale Works in the studio with us right now. And,
hi.
Welcome. We've got.
Thanks.
It's good to have you guys. We've got Evan Price and Brad Kominick on the mic right now.
Right,
and
that's his name too. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you guys brought like every brewer. You had like your whole brewery's here.
Oh yeah. Everybody except for our social media robot, Joseph, who doesn't matter anyway.
Ours, we never invite our social media robot either.
We have no use for that person. Who is that?
Sometimes she just shows up.
Oh yeah,
uninvited. But for the most part, we try to just keep her out.
They're good for taking pictures.
Yeah, they're good for.
We never take pictures.
That's good for that.
Well, sometimes I take pictures and I send them to him and I say, "Hey, post this thing," and he's like, sort of grunty about it. And, and then that's the thing. Like, oh, hey, the brewer guy is taking a picture and it's really shitty and whatever else.
I wouldn't call ours grunty. I mean, sometimes there's another auntie that we use, but she's not. She's definitely not. She's definitely like grunty.
And since she doesn't have a microphone,
hey,
I'm going to go
Shippy.
ahead and just say inappropriate.
Well, I just nothing.
She's an independent contractor. There's no HR department.
That's right.
Yeah.
I am the HR department.
She also happens to be an HR professional. So,
well, we don't want necessarily dick pics on our social media feed. So let's be clear. I don't know how you guys feel.
Well,
about it.
I'm not really sure which word you were referring to, but as a side note, cunty is a word that I really appreciate and I have in my vocabulary.
You do? Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. I don't know if I was thinking of that word or not either, but it is a good word.
Yeah, I'm actually really offended by that word,
overall,
so let's not.
JP gets very offended.
Right, that's fucking bullshit.
More importantly, rumor has it that you've been hanging out with Jay, that guy Jay from the Rare Barrel all day, which leads me to believe that you guys are a little irritable by now. And,
oh, man.
And probably half-cocked.
All those bugs, man, you know?
Yeah.
Probably got indigestion.
I mean, what have you guys been doing all day with Jay? Drinking?
Well, we started the day, let's see, Matt and I, not Brad, who's sitting next to me. We didn't have enough mics. So Matt and I woke up at 11 a.m., very hungover from our visit to, hey, what's the name of that place? Smuggler's Cove. I'm in love with cocktails. It's near and dear to my heart, and my brain doesn't like it very much, I don't think. But anyway, so we dug in pretty fucking hard into some tiki drinks last night.
You did.
And then, we woke up this morning feeling like a pile of shit. And then we went over to Cellar Maker, hung out with Tim and Connor for a bit and had some of their delicious Typo pills. And you guys had some dank things, Brad. What'd you have?
Super dank. We had like a... Let's see. They were out of like a lot of hoppy stuff,
and then
let's see, marijuana. They were out of there.
Then we had a beer.
Of hoppy stuff. We had
Cellar Maker out of hoppy stuff.
A little, yeah. I guess they had a run on Dank Side of the Moon. Well, that's which we had the other day.
Good name
at the Hermosillo. So,
oh man, yeah, they just released this beer that's super rad called Sharing Sandwiches, and it's a collaboration with a really good friend of ours, Bob Coons of Highland Park Brewery, who is a newer brewery. He opened up this brewery in the Hermosillo in L.A., and it is just totally rad. He was a mentor of mine when I first got into homebrewing. He helped me bottle my first batch of beer, and he just bare bones this brewery together in the back of this bar, and is pushing out. I mean, if you go see this guy's setup, you're gonna. It's a glorified homebrew setup, and he is pushing out some just fantastic beer.
Okay.
And so anyway, yeah, Cellar Maker just did a collaboration with them, and it's very similar to a beer that we just did with a collaboration with Monkish Brewing Company called We Save Latin, and so it's a kind of hoppy beer with some Brettanomyces added to it. And so pretty rad.
Excellent. Now, just so our folks know at home, this is Evan, and you are the head brewer.
Yeah,
I heard you don't like the word brewmaster.
Well, I tend to think it's a little douchey, and it's like this idea that I'm 31 years old and I somehow am able to be a master of something is a joke, man.
Right.
I'm baiting. I'm really good at that, but I think that's about it.
Yeah,
especially since I'm married.
Right. Yeah. So you take your masters seriously.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
But I mean, so anyway, I'm just this guy, this brewer, and really excited about what we do. Brad here has been working with me at Noble the whole time I've been there for the last 3 years. And
okay.
It's only been 3.
Feels longer, doesn't it?
You've been there. You were there a little bit before.
I swear it's been 5 years. I mean,
must have been all the dank.
It's a lot of dank. I'm elbows deep in dank all the time.
Right. Now, you guys were both brewers elsewhere before Noble, or no?
Not me.
You weren't. Okay.
No.
What were you before Noble?
I was sitting home. For about 12 years.
You were JP over here.
I was a master of one thing, like we were talking about. I was sitting home. I had a marketing, mortgage, finance thing for 12 years.
Okay.
And,
sounds awful. Yeah, like a business owner.
I was, for a bit, I did, there's a long story there.
I don't know if I would have bought a mortgage from you. I mean, just, it's first impression.
No, a lot of it was over the phone.
Is it his voice?
Oh, the voice is good, actually. Over the phone, I'm buying a mortgage.
Yeah, I could sell you right now. I mean, 4%.
I'm going to close my eyes. Sell me a mortgage right now.
With no points, no fees.
I'm in.
What's your credit like?
It's perfect.
Hey.
It's horrible, actually, but
perfectly. We don't need that. What's your social?
See, that's what you do to your fast.
Right?
You make us stumble.
But yeah, I did that for 12 years. I'm 33 years old. So I'm much older than I look, you know.
Well, and he just had 22 Jump Street come out with Tatum Channing. There you go.
I was the fat one. Yeah, that's right in the movie.
Is that another "I'm the fat one" joke?
Well, I mean, when you get an emo Jonah Hill lookalike, you gotta come on.
If you guys
that just sat there, okay, great.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Well, I don't know if I wish people could see Brad's amazing hair. He has a haircut.
Oh, they can. It's on camera.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Joseph, Joseph, our social media robot, has a hashtag ongoing called Brad's Hair Forever.
Nice.
Oh, sorry, hashtag Brad's Hair Forever.
Right.
I don't use these things very often.
But you're married, so
yeah, exactly, man.
There's some hashtags that, well, because you're married, will lead you to some fun things.
JP has a whole list. If you guys want to powwow later,
let's talk, man. Let's talk. Yeah, I could
like sitting on a couch with your cats.
But I already do that. Right. I need to know what to look forward to, like Ashley Madison or some shit. I don't know.
Right. So, Evan, you though were a brewer elsewhere before Noble.
Yeah. So I've been. Let's see, I'm a little over 9 years of professional brewing at this moment, and I started out my career with BJ's, and I was scrubbing floors and shit, and just trying to learn as much as I can, which at that time in my life was everything, because I knew nothing. And so,
did you have a brewing education at that point, or did you just apply for a job at BJ's?
No. So I got me and Owen, who is the director of brewing operations for all the BJ's. Owen now owns a brewery called Ritual Brewing Company in Redlands, and him and I got drunk at a beer event the BJ's threw, and afterwards we just kind of continued to talk, and he interviewed me while we were both drunk, and it worked out. So it worked out, and I ended up going from there to working in the brewery, and it was a just fantastic experience where they continued to close down these breweries and fire people. Okay. And so I was given this really cool opportunity to continue to work under a lot of different people, and just continue to realize, each one of these people have this idea that, like, this emphasis on this particular thing. Oh, it's all about sanitation. It's all about sanitation. And you're like, okay, cool. Yes, brewmaster. It's all about sanitation, and then and then the next guy comes in and he's like, "Oh no, man! It's all about recipe formulation." And you're like, "Okay, okay. So fuck sanitation. It's all about recipe formulation."
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. And then so the next guy comes in, and it just kind of continued to be this thing. And so anyway, it was a great learning experience where over 2 years I was able to work at 3 different BJ's breweries, and I was able to work under these different brewmasters. Let's see, Zambo from 21st Amendment.
Oh, yeah.
Being one of them. And
I forgot that he was a BJ's guy.
Yeah, man, yeah.
So what, you were at like the last BJ's standing or something? Because they all just kept funneling through there?
Yeah, so like, let's see, I started at the Laguna Hills location, and they closed that down, and then I went to the Brea location, and they closed that down, and then Zambo had to look for a job, and
So it's weird that you're going to all these locations, and then shortly after they're closing down.
Coincidence? Oh, man.
What is the common thread?
The brewery killer.
It wasn't me, man. It wasn't me.
All right.
I think that's a song.
It is.
Which I won't do right now.
So after Brea, what's left? There was another?
So then there was West Covina, which was the biggest brewery in the area for BJ's. And, I'm this dumb kid at that point. I'm still a dumb kid. But continuing to see this pattern, it's like, all right, I need to do something, man. I got to get out of here. And so Ben, the owner of Hangar 24, came in to get yeast early on for one of his for like Orange Weed or one of his beers, and I ended up meeting him through that through BJ's, and then he said he was looking for a brewer, his first brewer, and so I went and started at Hangar 24 then. And
what are you're like 24, 25 at this point?
Yeah, something like that. I never worked backwards very well, but. Yeah, it's something like that.
Ish. All right. Yeah.
And so, I started at Hangar 24, and I was the first brewer there. It was at that point, it was me and Ben and his wife.
Okay.
And it was, it was a fantastic experience of just learning that I don't like being completely stressed out all the time and working really hard. And
so what was the deal? Why was it stressful? Did they have all of the recipes made up and you really were just kind of a production brewer?
Yeah, it was totally, I mean, so that was definitely a part of it. And I think that was one of the reasons why I was not excited. One of the reasons why I wasn't completely excited about being there all the time was this idea of, these are the beers and this is what you're going to do. But at the same time, I was integral in kind of moving some of these beers forward and just saying hey, I think we should do this with this beer kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about at that point. For
really?
Sure. I mean, yeah.
You were kind of faking it till you
fake
made
it till you make it, man.
Yeah. So is that where the stress came in? Because ultimately you were brewing all the beer, so it sort of fell on your shoulders whether you knew what you were doing or not?
Well, yeah. So, let's see. Some of the cool things that I think that happened that at the time seemed like the worst things ever was when we were when I was at Hangar, I had it was a 40-barrel batch of pale ale or orange wheat, I forgot exactly what it was, that totally got a lacto sour character to it. And so I fucked up my first batch.
Okay.
And I'm just,
Ouch.
I'm freaking out about it. And so I immediately, I took it to Ben. I'm just like, hey, man, I messed up this batch, man. I don't,
You owned up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, something I appreciate about the guys that I work with, too. They, same kind of thing of just, hey, man, I made a mistake. All right, cool. Well, let's figure out how to go from here. But
sure.
So anyway, so Ben brought in Lee Chase. Lee Chase was the brewmaster for Stone for 10 years, and guy, just a wealth of awesome knowledge. And so
he was a consultant for a long time too. So
yeah,
the guy to bring in, right?
Exactly. So he came in as a consultant, and
he's like, Evan sucks.
Yeah, he's like, fire this guy, get rid of him now. No. So so through meeting Lee, I mean, really kind of changed the way that I approach things and I do things. And anyway, so we basically just kind of figured out a couple things that we were doing wrong with sanitation stuff. And
did you have to dump that batch?
Oh yeah.
It was gone. There was
The best part is that so maybe the worst part is that we brewed that batch, and then in the same exact tank, the second batch was also bad. So so we dumped the batch, and then I. At the time was like, yeah, man, all right, well, I'm going to clean the fuck out of this tank. And that was apparently not the case. And so, you learn from your mistakes and
so do you remember what went wrong specifically so that others could learn from your mistake? Why was it going lactic, you said, right?
Well, so I couldn't tell you exactly what exactly the contamination was maybe now, but I remember it being like sort of a lactic, lemony sort of sourness.
But it was some sort of sanitation within the system somewhere.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I want to say it was as simple as a full inspection of inside of the tank of you get these really big light bulbs, and you're able to put them inside of the tank, and you're able to really get a good inspection of the inside of the tank. And so the spray balls on these specific types of fermenters were less than ideal.
Okay.
And so it wasn't cleaning everything very well. And so the entire top of the tank, whenever we opened it up after a caustic cycle, was still dirty.
Oh, I see.
And so, yeah.
So you had to climb in there.
Well, we didn't have to climb in there, but we just,
just left it.
We just
apparently for another 2 batches anyway.
So we just left it, and that was that.
Sour beer company.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so anyway, we just kind of learned from that, and then just move forward from there. But I mean, that contamination could have really come from a couple other places with just bringing Leon and him kind of bringing down some years of experience and saying hey, let's do it this way.
How were the owners with you at that point? I mean, they sort of knew your resume anyway, right? So did they come down pretty hard on you, or it was like, hey, let's just get it right, it's going to be fine?
Yeah, no, and that was one of the things I definitely appreciated as well, was that it was like, hey, you're honest with us, and let's figure this out and move forward.
Okay. So how long did you end up at Hangar 24?
So I was there for a year and a half. I ran the brewery production for that first year and a half, and we I think the year I was leaving, we brewed like 5,000 barrels, and the current brewmaster there, or head brewer there now, Kevin, he came on I think about a year into me being there, and then right after I left, he took the position as head brewer.
Excellent.
And so I went on to Taps Fish House and Brewery, and we worked with Victor Novak.
He's with Golden Road now, yeah?
Yeah.
I think he mentioned you, or somebody mentioned you and him. You're like his protege or something.
I don't know if I'm his protege. I don't think I'm that good.
Okay. Victor might disagree, but you worked under Victor for a while, and he's a well-respected brewer for our listeners that don't know. He's been in the business for a while, and with Taps, he just he's making fantastic beer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he, I was so excited about the idea of like, I was working in Hangar 24, and I'm making a lot of beer, but like I didn't feel like I was learning much about how to make the recipe formulation behind a beer.
Okay.
And so I really wanted to go work for somebody that gave that a lot of thought, that kind of slowed things down a little bit and just said like, hey, let's focus on this, let's not make lots and lots and lots of it, but instead like, let's just make it really good.
So would the focus be on every specific ingredient, and you have to know what that ingredient does? Or was it just on making a bunch of small batches and seeing which one tasted good?
No, I think, when it comes to Victor, like Victor does like a lot of research, and he really kind of takes a traditional standpoint on a lot of stuff where everything for him is like, he wants to use the exact malt that from the specific country that we're making a beer style from.
Okay.
If we're making a German beer, it's Weirmann malt. If we're making an English beer, it's Simpson's malt. If we're making...
Sounds smart.
Yeah, so it's like all that kind of, idea or ideology or whatever, where it's just trying to make the beer as close to the country that you're trying to represent whenever you say it's a Belgian style or a French style or whatever else. And so I really respected, what he had already established with Taps, and then just working with him. And then also, it was just such a cushy job, and it was just really fun to work at. And
nice. And coming from the stress job that you had before.
Man. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that was rad, so I was able to like working at a brew pub is amazing from like working at a production brewery where like during lunchtime I'm able to like walk over to the grill, grab myself some ahi tuna, throw it on the grill, and I'm sitting there, during my lunch, and I'm just, grilling up this shit, and it's like, and then I'm thinking about these bastards that are sweating their asses off in Redlands, and I'm just like, oh man.
Suckers.
Don't forget the flies in Redlands.
Oh man, yeah, the flies.
Just in Redlands as a whole? Or?
Well, yeah, it's a thing, man,
Is it?
I think red in like another language, I'm not sure which one means fly.
It's fly.
Flylands.
Flylands.
We shouldn't be ripping on Redlands. They're nice people.
I grew up close to Redlands, close-ish, and we all made fun of Redlands. Everybody makes fun of Redlands.
Yeah. They might be nice, but they still got a shit ton of flies. Right.
Where did you grow up?
So I was up in the high desert, like just above, right? So I was still San Bernardino County, which is, I think, Redlands, too. Are they San Bernardino?
Yeah.
So I was.
They're not river. They're Riverside or San Bernardino. I don't know.
Yeah, I was up. We call it up the hill in Hesperia. It's fucking way worse than Redlands. I'll tell you that right now.
Whoa! I saw that. I saw like there's so many cops episodes dedicated to Hesperia.
Yeah, I was in a couple. Yeah, it's a horrible place. Redlands had us beat, which is why we made fun of them, because that's what you do, when you're better.
Oh man, that's the best. Like that's like like living in Orange County, we're from Orange County, and I'm living in like say Buena Park or Anaheim, and then all you do is make fun of Garbage Grove.
That's what we do. Yeah,
fuck Garbage Grove, man.
We make fun of Shimke because she's from Sacramento, and everyone's like, "Well, fuck Sacramento."
Right.
Meanwhile, as Shimke's saying, meanwhile, I live in Martinez now.
Yeah, but you're not from Martinez.
That's true. But
I'm actually from.
I'm from a worse place than Martinez.
But you got out.
You've done something with your life.
You left.
Wait, Martinez, that's a city in the area?
It's right next door, man. It's a beautiful city by the water and the train track and the refinery. It has it all.
Have you ever had a Martinez cocktail?
Okay, there is the claim to fame is that the martini it comes from Martinez. That is as one of their claim to fames.
Yes, I wouldn't say. I don't think that's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a real thing. There is one other place that claims the martini, and it's an ongoing debate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that anything good besides oil has ever come out of Martinez.
I'm not going to argue.
Thank you.
Just ask all the people sleeping in the gutter in Martinez.
Right.
The world about a rumor
That guy's from Martinez. Anyway, he came and visited us in our old studio.
Was that Brad talking again? What was that?
He does look familiar now that you say that.
Brad tends to, like, every once in a while, like, he puts like these marbles in his mouth somehow, and like, he talks, and it's just like a marble mouth sort of thing that I really appreciate.
Shut up, man. Thank you so much, sir. Sticking up for me and my mom.
He sounds a lot like our Martinez homeless guy.
Well, he sounds like there's like an Elvis thing going on there, like he's eating a peanut butter, sandwich or something like that,
Yeah.
Who, me or the homeless guy?
You.
Both. Yeah.
I am eating a peanut butter sandwich.
As a matter of fact, I have one in my pocket.
Excuse me.
All the time.
I'm also high on Quaaludes, about to take a shit. So what? I am Elvis.
I'm Elvis. All right, before we go too far into whatever the hell we're doing, let's talk beer for a second. I want to talk about the Pilsner.
Yeah, Pilsner.
So it's what's in my glass, and it's a great Pilsner, but it's not quite a Pilsner, right? Tell us about the beer.
It's near.
Yeah, so we called this beer Pilsner because we brew it with an ale yeast. We want to be completely upfront with everybody that we're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes or anything like that. And I know there's breweries that tend to do that where they're like, oh yeah, we made a Pilsner, and you're like, dude, you fermented that with ale yeast. So just for all listeners knowing that a Pilsner should be fermented with a lager yeast.
Okay.
And we take an approach of all German ingredients. So for this beer, I mean, any homebrewers out there, the recipe is very simple. So this is 92.5% Weyermann Premium Pilsner malt, which is the lightest Lovibond color malt on the market. So
92.5. Just to be difficult, or that was a calculation that had to be made?
Well, so that you could then bring in some Carafoam, which will help add body. So it's also made by Weyermann, and so the Carafoam ends up filling out the beer a little bit. At that 4.4% ABV, you do need a little bit of sort of oomph. And so we fill it out.
German word, oomph.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's a German word.
It's all German.
With an umlaut.
Yeah. It's the sound a tuba makes, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
And so, so this is, so there's the grain bill.
Wait, so 92.5% Pilsner malt.
And then the rest, Carafoam.
Got it, okay.
And so, so then there's that, and then, all German Hallertau Mittelfrüh is just the hop varietal, and we let's see, we do a small bittering of like 5 IBUs, and then we pick up the rest of the 15 IBUs in the whirlpool.
Okay,
assuming a 12% utilization for all you homebrewers out there. And
is that a traditional German Pilsner thing to do, or would the Germans do more of a bittering edition and less of a late edition?
I wish I had that answer for you. I mean, most of the time for me, I have up until maybe 3 or 4 months ago, after listening to a podcast from Mitch Steele, I was never assuming bitterness pickup from a whirlpool edition.
Okay,
and I emailed him after hearing this, he said the smallest line of just like, oh, well, yeah, we see a pretty big pickup of IBU in the whirlpool. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. Okay, so I emailed Mitch, and he was able to just give me some numbers of what to work with. And so we started using those utilization numbers for our whirlpool editions. He was saying a 10 to 15% utilization is what you can typically expect.
Okay.
And so something to take into consideration is just the fact that these whirlpool editions do add IBU. And so once we kind of figured out that, I mean, we really helped dial in our beers, because we really want, for the most part, we make a lot of hoppy beers, and so we're very aroma-driven sort of brewery where we're trying to make beers that, have some pleasant aromatics to them, especially when we're using hops. And so, when it comes to this Pilsner, on the other hand, like we wanted to make sure that we add enough hops in the brew house. And so what ends up happening is you end up needing a pretty big charge in the whirlpool to make up the rest of that IBU. And so that's what we did with this Pilsner. We ferment the beer at 63 degrees with a California ale yeast.
Oh, yeah. So why do that? Why not? You've gone pretty traditional Pilsner, and then you say, fuck it, we're going to do it with an ale yeast.
We want to make the beer in 2 weeks instead of 5 or 6. And so because of the amount that Brad drinks alone of this beer, we really need to make sure that we can just...
It's hot in the brewery, man. Fucking thirsty at the end of the day.
I don't know if you've ever been in a brewery, man, but when that kettle's on...
Even just sitting there.
Steamy, hot.
Need a lot of beer.
Yeah. I had to drive all the way here. I'm thirsty.
I live in Garden Grove, so Diamond Bar is further. But...
So you wanted to get it done fast, which makes sense. We've talked to other brewers about that, just tank space and things like that.
Yeah, and so, I mean, for me, it was a really great challenge. And so we ferment the beer that cold to truly try to limit the amount of ester production as possible. And so after fermentation, we dry hop the beer at a 0.5 pound per barrel with the German Hallertau Mittelfrüh again.
Okay.
I had this weird thing about just really wanting to know what one hop variety is all about and learning from that experience and then moving forward from there. So most of the time when we make a new beer, we use just one hop variety because it's
we want to make love to it. Really get the
do it right.
Ins and outs. Nowhere from the outside in.
That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do.
It says it on the label. It's right there.
Boom.
So I feel like with the hop character, you've achieved something like a Pivo Pils on this beer, where it's which I'm a huge fan of.
No, come on, man. No. That's as good as it gets. And look, I of course you wouldn't mean that. Like Pivo Pils, man.
But they say
a god among men.
I mean, it's right there on the label of the Pivo that they're going for like this hoppy Pils, which I think is what you've achieved is a hoppier Pils, and I like it.
We make this. We've been making this other beer a lot longer called Pistol Whipped, and it's we call it a Czech style Pilsner, but it's not your traditional Czech style Pilsner. We do all Motueka hops, which is a New Zealand varietal. So like the idea with that beer is we make a traditional Pilsner as much as we possibly can in every single way, but instead of using Saaz, which is the traditional hop variety used for the Czech Pils, we use Motueka, and it's so interesting how different that beer is in every way.
Yeah.
Where it ends up not tasting like a Pilsner. It tastes like a session IPL or something like that.
Interesting.
What are you going to say? You coming up over there?
Wow. Postman over here. He's getting fired up over there. You're making Evan nervous, Moscow. Stop looking at him that way.
Yeah. Forgive me. Well, so you say Pivo in this beer, they remind you of one another. But Pivo's made with a lager yeast, right?
Yeah, Pivo's a lager.
So describe the difference. Like, what does Pivo have that this beer doesn't, or the other way around?
Well, I don't know what it has. It's I don't know. I'd have to taste them side by side.
Yeah,
my comment was strictly related to the amount of hops coming out of like the late charge and then the dry hop edition, which isn't really a traditional Pilsner. It's a hoppier Pilsner, which is what Firestone was going for with the Pivo.
Man. Hoppy Pilsner, man. I mean, like, that's, to me, like, if I could name a favorite beer style, it's Pilsner for sure. Like,
I agree.
It's good hoppy Pilsner. And especially, like, I mean, like, we don't ever use German hops really in anything. I think it's one of the first times we've ever used it in our brewery, and so it was so fun for us to make this beer. Oh, we're the worst.
You are the worst.
And so
I've heard that.
Oh man, yeah. There's we're able to offend everybody all the time.
Not the best, that's for sure. But.
Well, it's also though, Tasty. I want to talk to you about this beer a little bit because I also think it tastes like a lager. It's clean.
Well,
it's
what do
low
we
ester.
identify as a lager? We identify Pilsner character, and
in the malt,
German hops, right?
But also, I think low
ester.
Yeah,
right? Okay, well, fine. You use California ale yeast, right?
Yeah,
at 63 degrees is going to be pretty much a low ester. You could do your ales there just as well, I guess, because you typically want low ester there too.
Sure.
So yeah, and
do you have to do a bigger pitch of Cal Ale to ferment that low, or is it just a happy yeast no matter what?
No, we're really good brewers.
I'm joking. We talk to it. We do a lot of talk. We sing to it.
Good.
Yeah, we sing to it. We caress that fermenter.
You got to do it, man.
You know,
well, 63 is not that cold. I mean, what are we talking about? I mean,
it's pretty cold.
Put a sweater on.
It's pretty cold for that.
For that yeast?
That yeast, but
that's getting go lower neck, can't it?
I've talked to other people that have been able to go lower than that. But when I call White Labs, I'm like, hey, what's the coldest I can go with this? And they're like, what do you mean? You want to go lower than 67? And I'm like, yeah, I want to go lower than that.
Yeah.
I can't really, help you out there.
66.5?
They're like, because on their end, like, what they don't want, most likely, if I know them well enough, is just like, they don't want that call of,
you fucked me up,
didn't
man.
ferment, you asshole.
Yeah, and you owe me this entire batch.
Yeah.
So that's true, but I think you could also talk to Chris White, at an event or something, and he might say different, like, oh yeah, you can go colder than 63.
He would say it depends.
He'd say go to town.
That's a good idea.
Talk to him. Jay, can I put you on the spot for a second? Because just when I was mentioning I was drinking this beer before we had the Noble guys on, you made a point that 63 degrees as a home brewer, Tasty, is different than, say, 63 degrees on that size of a commercial batch. And I wondered if you could talk to me about that a little bit. What's the difference? Is it really just a volume situation?
Yeah, it's the hydrostatic pressure. So, one thing I learned on the Brewing Network is that
I love that show.
Back when I was a home brewer, if I'm hearing fermentation temperatures from pro brewers, I'm actually taking that and putting it down a few degrees. So maybe 63 for this Pilsner. For me, if I'm a home brewer, I'm going to do 61, 60. And just as an aside, another great brewer locally who treats 001 at this low temperature, Roger from Faction.
Oh, yeah.
Tasty, you know all about that. I mean, he's a
Roger
on the
believer.
low and slow 001.
Yeah, okay.
The point being is that the pressure constrains the yeast, and temperature will as well. So, if you, like, for instance, Stone and their big fermenters, they ferment with their English yeast pretty high, like in the 70 or so. Well, because if they have all that pressure, the yeast are constrained as if they were fermenting at 65.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Goddamn mitigating factors, right? Huh?
So all I keep thinking about is Roger Davis. Now that you brought him up, man,
he is a handsome man.
He has a lot of hydrostatic pressure.
Oh man!
Just in general, yeah, he's ready.
So your fermenter shape makes a difference in the beer. I mean, if you had a tall one, you might use a different temperature on the same beer as if you had it in a flatter fermenter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's really what I was getting at with my question, was if I'm hearing this and I'm hearing, well, you can get close to indistinguishable from Pivo with an ale yeast, why would I lager?
Well, there are other qualities, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that. For me, I mean, I still pick up some light ester character in this beer, and it is totally, like, in my opinion, which doesn't matter, is appropriate, and it works well with the hops and with the yeast. With the malt, and I don't understand why it's taken so long, and I'm not the first at all, but why it's taken so long for more brewers to be just kind of on board with this idea.
Well, and there are other very traditional things, right? Like some sulfur notes, like some subtle sulfury character from lager yeast that aren't in this beer. And, of course, you don't want a lot of that, but in a traditional...
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the things that I really appreciate about using this ale yeast is the fact that we are able to limit the amount of sulfur better by using an ale yeast.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead... instead of the drinker, say, maybe getting a light whiff of sulfur, though I still wouldn't want that in my lager.
Yeah.
I would, it's kind of fun that they're instead getting a light whiff of ester profile or maybe getting on the palate a little bit. And I think that might add, as long as it doesn't get too intense, it can add to the flavor profile.
Tasty, how do you like this compared to your fast lager with a lager yeast method?
The 2-week thing.
Well, just by comparison, tasting this one.
Not much difference.
Okay.
Not really, no. No.
Tasty has
the flavor is dominated by the malt and hop regimen.
And the noble hop, yeah. Okay. Beardy, you want to climb in there?
No.
Shut up.
All right. Shut the fuck up, Beardy.
All right. I was just gonna ask if you've thought about submitting this in the Pilsner category at GABF.
Oh, it's a good, I thought about that too.
We already did. It's
You already
in.
did?
We'll see what happens.
We've had a long conversation about exactly that, and
Well, it sounds like it was a long conversation. Then Brad went and did whatever he wanted.
I done sending it in.
Put it as a porter.
What was the result of the long conversation?
well, no, I don't think we should do it. So I'm against this whole idea of like not entering the right thing in the right category. Like, for instance, like, oh man, we were having this long conversation about this earlier, where it's like you keep seeing these breweries that enter a double IPA in the strong pale category, and then it's like, okay, cool, you're 8.5% double IPA just won for a strong pale when the top end of that is 6.3% ABV, and you're like, cool, man. Yeah, you really accomplished something. Right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Like that bums me out. And then more importantly, they're like going around like, we won, and it's just like you didn't win anything, man. Like it doesn't mean anything.
You won it faking.
I've had a few brewers.
Not thinking international pale ale, are you?
Privately admit that like they'll do a Pilsner, like mostly in brew pubs, they'll do a Pilsner and they'll just we used 001 and we just did it cold. But they won't tell anybody. You guys are upfront with it, which is unique. Well, in my experience,
the thing is, I don't want to. I really like the idea of just being completely upfront with people, where it's like, hey man, we really like the flavor profile of this malt and this hop, and we want to be able to do that more often. And so, like, we're a small, shitty little brewery, and so like, let's try to just squeeze this out a little bit more so Brad can stay hydrated.
Yeah. Well, and it's awesome, and it tastes great, and I'm just glad that you're not one of those breweries that's promoting it as, this is our Pilsner, and we developed this technique that we turn around in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we'll see after we win the medal. What we say.
Yeah. Well, literally that night at the JBF, the name changes to Pilsner.
Just full on Pilsner.
Brad's going to bring a new sign to just paste over the Pilsner sign.
Lager yeast all the way. It's 6-week beer at least.
It's the most intensive beer we make, and it's $400 a keg.
Right.
Because we need our time.
Yeah, we still are medal free in the GABF and World Beer Cup department. So
how long?
We're going to do our best to
Have you thought about using actual lager yeast then?
Yeah, we've thought about that for sure.
But it was a stupid idea.
Worst thought ever.
All right.
We tossed that out.
How long's Noble been around?
Noble's been around for a little while, man. I mean, so established.
Great answer.
Amazing. Well,
for like a number of years, like,
this is straight out of their marketing.
Guys,
where can we go skate?
Let me gather my thoughts here.
Give the man a chance.
Come on. I drank a lot of tiki drinks last night. Come on.
All right, good call. Good call.
It's true.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, grog. What do you do? Okay, so anyway,
5 years.
Established 2009 is like a thing. So Noble started out by they were contract brewing originally through Dale Brothers, this brewery in Pomona, I want to say, and anyway, I don't remember exactly the amount of time that was a thing, and then for a little over 4 years ago now, and let's see. January. I think it was February. It's February. That's the next month after January.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well,
I don't remember
usually.
that far back.
So in February, so let's see. That would be February 2011 is when they officially, I think, started brewing.
Okay. And when did you start?
I started May 7th, 2012. Okay, yeah. Trying to work backwards here.
Well, now you guys are kind of like the cool kids. I don't know if you know that, but coming up here, like Jay shows up and
Jay never shows
Shimke shows up. I don't know if that's a gauge of anything.
Yeah,
but I think the field work guy. Like I go out into my bar earlier today, and it's like a who's who of the Bay Area to see you yokels.
It's a who's who of really small brewers that nobody has ever heard of.
Yeah. You guys are like the cool kids now.
And Jay.
I wouldn't call us the cool kids. I think everyone's seen us naked enough to know that everything's really small about us, and so
I see.
I think it's just That's cool. I'm glad you say that for some reason.
Well, you've got a good buzz going on about the place.
Not just from the tiki drink.
I'll get a good buzz here soon, fellas.
Well, you guys poured at Faction last year for the Ales for ALS event.
Yeah.
And you were all the buzz there. You had the best beer there, I thought.
No, thank you.
God.
Were you naked at that event?
I was later on.
He let us feel his package.
You and Roger both.
Oh, man, yeah.
Hey, bro, you got a nice ass.
That guy. All right, I got to do this. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break, and we're going to catch a buzz at the break. What do you think?
Yeah. I think I'm ready.
Well, we've got more beer to try is the important part. Plus, I have to pee. So we're going to get some more Noble Beer Works, Noble Ale Works. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. You're the worst.
Fucking worst. We'll come back with more beer in our glass. Hang in there. It's The Session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let badass bitch Jade and the gadget guy Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California, and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com.
If you don't know Yeastman, you're missing out. White Labs Yeast Manager, Yeastman, is available free to any brewer. Yeastman is your direct link to White Labs yeast production facility. Yes, you can check yeast availability, and yes, you can place an order, but Yeastman is much more. View yeast quality control and analytical reports. See your big QC Day entries and reports. Get access to the entire White Labs catalog, specials on overruns of freshly made yeast, and customized options for your account. Yeastman is the only real-time online ordering in the business connected directly to factory production. Yeastman is always on and always live. It's the largest online marketplace for specialty brewers yeast and related products. Visit yeastman.com today and tap directly into White Labs production facility. Gonna brew? Yeastman to the rescue.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a Certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, Santa
Clean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today. Adventures in Homebrewing have the knowledge and expertise to craft their own gear and original recipes. Some of the things homebrewing.org creates and manufactures in-house are the Brutus brew stands and propane burners, the Serial Killer adjustable 2-roller grain mill with 7-pound hopper, custom stainless steel false bottoms designed to fit kegels, coolers, and mini-sized brew pots. The brewers at Adventures in Homebrewing have designed a huge selection of original recipes for extract and all-grain brewing. Adventures in Homebrewing original recipes are tried and tested, proven to be of the best quality. And right now, Adventures in Homebrewing is shipping 24 of their best recipes for free. Visit homebrewing.org for the most current selection. Once you try one of Adventures in Homebrewing recipes, you'll keep coming back for more. And now, it's even easier with free shipping on these kits. Brewing Network listeners receive 10% off their homebrewing.org orders when they use coupon code IPA at checkout. See terms and conditions for full details.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
Yes, welcome back to the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. Boy, do we have things to do. Mostly drink beer, I think. There's a lot of good beer on tap. From the boys from Noble Ale Works. Before we get on with the interview, I've got 2 of their beers in front of me we're going to talk about, plus a lot of other things. If you want to call in, 888-401-BEER. If you want to ask your own questions, 888-401-BEER. Or you can hit the chat button on the homepage, and Bevo's in there taking your questions. She'll pass them along to me so I can ask.
Are you Bevo?
I am Bevo, yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Well, he's like
my tits aren't as big as everyone claims to be, but
he's a smaller-breasted Bevo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm Steve.
The beard's the same, though.
You're a different chick.
I like how
Bevo is actually outside cleaning up after our dinner.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, which is what,
Poor Kim. Like, every time something gets brought up, every time, like, something, like, womanly gets brought up or whatever it is, like, it's immediately like, oh, hey, Kim.
Oh,
and
Kim.
it's just like, oh, by the way, it's not sexual harassment in any way.
Right. Well, that's why we keep her as
Sexual
a contractor.
stereotyping.
Yeah, I will never hire you, Kim. Yeah, but that's, I feel like that's acceptable. Because you're a contractor. I'm already registered on their website, Shimke. And it's not my fault you didn't look it up before you started working for the BN.
You're not my neighborhood.
I feel like you didn't do your due diligence.
Oh, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Can you speak into the mic? Are you? Oh, you don't have a mic. Sorry about that.
You know what? It's not because you're a woman. That's
Wait,
for sure.
one of you is like an ultimate feminist or something. Is that you, Evan?
Oh no, that's Brad. Actually,
oh, that's Brad. Brad's the. I should have known. It's the hair.
Yeah.
The ultimate feminist.
Yeah. I don't even know what it means to be the ultimate feminist.
Well,
but
it's like a wrestler.
You don't open doors for women. You don't treat them any different than you treat a man.
Oh, I see. That kind of ultimate.
So you don't believe in the pink boot society, I assume.
No, they should not be wearing black boots like a man because we're all the same.
Well, you're so progressive.
That's going to cause problems.
I really appreciate that whole idea so much. I mean, it's the best.
It's like the best.
But like at the same time, like, if you're, I don't know, say, I wouldn't call it trying to get laid, but opening a door and all those kinds of things. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's a nice thing to do.
It's just polite.
Yeah. Well,
I think you'll find you got to beg for it eventually. So why not just start begging for it?
Yeah. Well,
that goes on and on, right?
I've already had those moments, and they are very humbling, to say the least.
You're just finding the wrong women. My wife told me to stop doing all those things.
She did?
Yeah, she's like, stop opening my door for me. I'll do it myself.
Well, probably because you're really bad at it. You're really hitting her with it.
Well, I think I was trying all the doors in the parking lot, and she just didn't want to keep waiting for me to find our car.
Yeah.
Brad, what were you going to say?
I'm being blind.
I was going to say she's a grown-ass woman and can open her own goddamn door. I've heard that my wife is...
Are you saying that Shimke has a big ass?
she has a grown ass. Like it's a regular sized person, adult lady ass. It's probably over 18, right? I mean, I'm assuming.
It's an adult lady ass.
A full-grown
I'm going to
ass.
make you a T-shirt for the next festival that on the back has an arrow pointing down that says adult lady ass.
You're going to hear about this on Twitter tomorrow.
Above 18 for sure. It's got a Z on the end.
I was going to read a sponsor ad right now, but I'm going to hold off.
I think you should
until the discussion has moved on.
Was it for the?
It looks like we're drinking the same beer, buddy.
Was it for the nearest church?
Yeah. We get a lot of church sponsors, believe it or not. It's amazing.
Oh, believe it or don't.
Yes. So I have 2 beers in front of me.
Oh my goodness!
One of them I picked because it wasn't a triple IPA.
Oh,
it was a double.
Oh my goodness!
But then I have a lot to talk about with that one. And then the other I picked because of the name. Because it's called Back in the Day IPA.
You remember back in the day? It's a Biggie Smalls, man.
But what's the style? Like,
glad that guy's dead.
Because
right?
on my menu we have
he used
like
to be alive back in the day, right?
We have the brewery name, we have the beer name, and then we have the style. The style says 1997 IPA. I think.
Yeah, West Coast IPA circa 1997.
That's
exactly
it.
what I figured it was.
Like
Yeah.
lots of caramel malt.
You didn't even need to read it.
No, because it tastes like an East Coast IPA.
Yeah, so we were really excited about making this beer. My friend Bob from Highland Park and I kind of talk a lot about beer, and I most likely end up just copying what he does. I swear, but anyway, we talked about this idea of just like making some of these beers that we drank when we first when we were getting into craft beer, and so. Anyway, this Back in the Day IPA is totally like a Stone, early Stone IPA, where it's just like, we use a real heavy percentage of caramel malt in this. And when it comes to our IPAs, we really use little to none, for the most part, in almost every IPA that we do.
Now.
Yeah, so I mean, for the noble IPAs, and so and I think that's the current trend for most breweries right now are just continuing to drop that out of their mash bill, or is caramel malt. And so when it came for us to make this beer, it was just like, all right, man, I remember that IPA I had the first IPA I had, I nearly spit it out, and I hated every moment of it because it was so sweet and it was so bitter at the same time, and it was what I like to call the mouthfuck, where it's just it's so many things at once.
Good beer name too. By the way.
Man, yeah, we have a lot of good.
Well,
we have some other beer names.
That's how you got balanced. You made a beer so screwed up sweet, you had to really hop it up.
Man. So, so this beer, it's a very, it's pretty dark for an IPA, but I think that a lot of people would really think that, for their palate, that's what an IPA should be. And so it's all Cascade, it's all Centennial hops, and very bitter, very sweet, and then hop to hell, dry hop to hell, with all Cascade and Centennial as well.
Is it popular now in 2015?
We just ran the stats of like our tap room the other day, and I was like, oh,
there you go.
Yeah,
there's your jam.
Baby. Ooh.
So, what did the stats say?
Oh, sorry. The stats said I got so excited about
Back in the Day.
You remember Back in the Day? Hey, Brad, what's the rest of that?
Brad.
I'm not going to do it.
Oh, come on. Brad, don't be such a pussy.
Before you give the stats, what about this band you guys got?
Oh, man. Oh, our band. I don't know if...
we're just like jumping all over the board.
Yeah, we'll get back.
We'll get back on...
What are your favorite brand of shoes?
What about this band competition down in LA?
I want to highlight my beard. How do you
hear about that?
1900 style IPA back when men were men.
There it is. He got it.
Men were men. So we just did this battle of the bands for LA Beer Week.
I saw that.
And
I'm jealous I didn't come up with the idea. What a great idea.
Oh, man.
You guys have a lot of talent down there. Could we get that many up here? No way.
No way, man. You guys are the bear. Yeah, you guys have talent.
What are we, Redlands now?
We could do like circus
You don't know
acts, but nothing else.
What's your fermentation temperature for the Pistoli beer or whatever? Your chili beer that you have.
Hold on. Let's jump over to something else.
What was your act? What was your?
Can you sign the title to your car?
All right.
It got broken into.
I love how everybody is trying to throw a different question at the same time.
Just tell us about your act in the competition.
Yes.
Okay, here I go. I'm going to tell you about the act.
Here I go.
You have to sing some,
So
be
we did a hip hop act, and it was really fun because Brad and I had this idea, or maybe just Brad. I don't remember now. Was it just your idea or both of our ideas?
This is the weed talking.
It was your idea, and I nodded and said I contributed. That was your way of conning me into joining this thing. I don't like to be in front of anybody in general. I scare little children.
Does anybody think that Brad sounds like a young Dan Gordon? He's like a young emo Dan Gordon.
I like how emo somehow is being tacked on.
Right. What do you mean somehow?
I'm an emotional wreck.
Well, he was crying in the bathroom when at the break.
Yeah. Do you play the trombone?
All this air being wasted on this dryer. Dang it! We needed air.
Once again, I'm the ultimate feminist, guys. So
right. All right, Evan. So what was the act?
Oh, sorry. The act was so we did a live hip hop group, and where we had, just like the Roots, where we had a bassist and a guitarist, and we had a drummer, and we had a keyboardist. And
nice.
Just like the Roots.
But you're white.
But good.
But we're all, so all of us are white, which I don't think matters, but, some people think that matters, like Tasty, and that's fine.
It matters when you put that big gold chain around you.
He was born a long
way
time
too
ago.
white then. Yes.
He doesn't know better.
So did you rap?
Yeah.
Back when men were men.
Me and Brad were the main rappers, and Brad being Dre and me being Snoop, and
nice.
It was so much fun, where it was like actually like somehow well received. And
did you do G thing?
Oh yeah, so we did nothing but a G thing.
Yeah. Sorry.
Nothing but a G thing.
My fault.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And so we did that.
Gin and juice.
We're just like falling back on that ass with a hellified gangster lean, getting funky on the mic like an old batch of collard greens.
It's a capital S, a yes, a fresh, a double O P, D O double G Y D O double G. You see?
Yeah. So much flesh when it's time to wreck a mic, pippin' hose and clock on a grip like my name is Dolomite.
Yeah, and it don't quit. In the mood. Yeah, you got to do that.
There's no rhythm or inflection. No. That is flat as a.
I know, it was awesome. I agree, it was great.
So you guys didn't actually do any music at the Battle of the Bands.
So, I really like this idea of I'm not talented musically at all, and basically I'm able to set up this sort of live karaoke thing where it's just oh man, yeah, look, Evan's doing this whole hip hop thing and this and that. And it's like I'm doing karaoke, people. Yeah. It's nothing more than that. And so
the bar's low, dude, especially in the beer world. So
the bar is set so low that it was one of those things to where when I got finished with that line, this crowd cheered out of excitement that I delivered it. And you said what? No inflection and whatever else. And that's for sure a thing. I'm not a rapper, even though it seems like I am by the line that I just spit.
Yes.
And but anyway, it was so much fun. We had a blast. We didn't place at all. We lost. We totally lost, and we had a
just like GABF.
Yeah, just
Julian.
Too soon, JP.
Is it too soon?
It's too soon.
I was trying to relate. Isn't that how you relate to people?
No.
Yeah,
too soon.
Well, he was talking about 2 years ago GABF.
Well, Julian was so busy stealing all the medals that there was no room, man. There was no room.
He doesn't work
hate
for a
on
real
him
brewery.
for that for sure.
He didn't participate in the Battle of the Bands.
Oh, yeah, he
did he? He did.
Oh, he did. He did.
That
he
bastard.
did an acoustic set, and the best thing is,
did he? Did he sing Extreme?
Well,
More than words.
Well, so Julian also performed at our anniversary party at Noble, and it's so great that he does this acoustic set, and it's all of these 80s epic songs that he probably played while he was when
he had hair.
When he was a garage band with no garage.
Well, I was going to say losing his virginity, but I guess that's better.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, and so anyway, it's really funny. He's just serenading the crowd with these very light acoustic songs.
Like Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Are we talking here?
Oh man, I want to say he did that song, didn't he?
I want to say Runaway Train.
Oh, yeah. He did Runaway Train.
Wow.
And it's Runaway one-way train never coming back. One-way on a one-way track.
I can't believe I missed this.
Julian can't do anything.
Is there a video of
Please
this
tell
thing
me
or
there was
something?
video.
Andy,
It's
so
amazing.
There is. I
It's
think.
so good. I mean, like, yeah, it's like somehow he's able to just like spill out this sex all over everybody. You know, it's just like.
In
It's so
your
glorious.
mouth or in your ear, it doesn't matter.
Oh man, wherever I get it, it's all good.
I love it.
Looks like we're going to Plan B.
Anyway, how much of this beer do you sell?
Yeah, let's get back to that. I asked you how popular the.
Back in the day, IPA.
Where do you want to go on vacation?
Okay. I'm going to England.
Frisco. There we go.
With Andy Black from McLeod in August. I'm really excited about that.
Good beer over there.
Oh man, yeah.
In England?
At McLeod.
In
yeah.
McLeod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for a bit. So, we're gonna be.
No, all right. I'm derailing us again. JP, shut the fuck up over there.
Yeah, JP.
Forget the question about how much you sell. I want to talk about the double IPA now.
Okay, wait, hold on. Back in the day, IPA was outselling our normal IPA when we released it,
Wow.
and which is our
Back in the day.
bigwig IPA is the beer that we make the most at Noble, and I mean, which is funny because I mean we rotate through so many different beer styles. Like one of the things that I appreciate with working at Noble is the fact that I have been given carte blanche to do whatever it is I want with the beer program, and so it's been really fun to be able to make whatever we think the beer community needs or wants or whatever we're excited about and whatever else, and so that's been really cool. But it was interesting to see that like back in the day IPA like was our number 2 seller for the week, and it's always Naughty Sauce though. Naughty Sauce is our number one best seller.
Doesn't this make you think, and this is not me belittling the quality of the beer, but
why are you belittling my beer?
But good names go a long way, right? Like people come in and they go, "Oh, Naughty Sauce, I'll have one, thank you." Or back in the day, it's a great beer name.
It'll get you to try it.
I just wonder if that has something to do with
Naughty Sauce is a world class beer. I just gotta say, it's not just the name.
Well, but that could be so.
But that's part of
that
it.
could be so. But that's after the marketing is received,
Right.
And
And
so
also-
the first thing you do is you walk in, you look at the
The
menu,
show.
and you go, "Oh, fucking Naughty Sauce, I'll take it."
Keep in mind, it's Jay complimenting the name of a beer.
Right. I mean, the
Great.
most
No,
awful
no, he
beer name
complimented the
maker
beer, not the
on
name.
earth.
Apropos.
The name is way too short. The beer, the beer is awesome.
Yeah.
The name actually makes sense, and so you shouldn't.
Yeah. So
I think my favorite beer name we've ever. Well, you're saying long names. Like we did a beer name called "Excuse Me, There's Some Schmutz in My Coffee," and
that's a good name, Jay.
Yeah, I just kept thinking about this idea of a excuse me, waitress. Excuse me. There's some schmutz in my coffee. But we were talking about Naughty Sauce, I think, and that it's one of the few times I think where we somehow like we're not marketing people. We're just some dumb like dudes sitting in a brewery and hanging out and drinking together and like actually having like some fun doing it. And then we come up with Brad comes up with this name for Naughty Sauce, and it's like one of the few times where a interesting sort of beer and a name kind of come together at the same time, because there's been so many hits and misses where we have what we think of as a really cool or amazing name for a beer, and
it's a bomb.
We tag it onto this beer that's a total turd, and it's like, and that's the thing that happens, and then we're like, fuck, we can't use that name again,
Right.
And so,
what a waste of a good name.
yeah, so we wasted this good name.
So great marketing can be organic. I'm not saying that you guys are sitting around going, "Hey, we got to come up with the best name ever." I think that if a group of friends is sitting around, you have a good sense of humor, you come up with some great beer names, and then the marketing just happens. Like it just works.
Yeah.
We do wear suits when we're coming up with names that we actually change. We put a hat, a monocle, tails on.
Yeah, you gotta get the feeling.
Yeah.
Buy low, sell high.
You were wearing a top hat when you came up with the name Man's Milk for your stout.
Right.
You got to put the man's milk somewhere.
That's that beer is named after a friend of mine, Kyle Manns,
that you were very close to. Oh, I see.
We're very, very close.
Yeah.
Close. Anyway, he was working at this brewery called Bottle Logic at the time. We worked together at Taps. So at Taps it was me and Victor, and then Kyle Manns. And so when he was opening up this brewery, Bottle Logic, he had a milk stout, and I was telling him like, oh man, I see you're opening up with a milk stout. We just have one coming out next week with one, and he's like, no, you're not. You're not coming out with a milk stout. And so like he was kind of like like playfully offended by it,
protective,
and protective.
He's serious about it.
Like even which is funny because like it's a fucking traditional beer style. Like who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean,
and so
4 other breweries
he brewed it a whole week before you did.
Oh my god! So anyway, so I kept joking around like, oh man, I want to name it after him, like Kyle Mann's Milk Stout or something like that. And
nice.
The person who was listening was just like, why don't you just shorten it, call it Man's Milk?
Done.
And so anyway, I think it's the best beer name, dude. I mean, like where we get so many of these like real jockey broy dudes that come in and they're just like,
weird.
I'll take the milk stout.
Yeah, they won't even say it.
Yeah. They won't say it, man.
I love that. Just fuck that. Just you got to make them all names like that they can't say.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you have a milk stout up there. I'll have that, please.
Oh yeah. And same thing happens with naughty sauce sometimes. I'll take that golden coffee beer, please.
The sauce one. That's fine.
The sauce.
Fucking douchebags. What we have naughty sauce on tap here, I think. Don't
I haven't
we?
got to that yet.
What kind of beer is it?
Naughty sauce is this golden. We call it a golden milk stout with coffee, and it's served on nitro.
Oh yeah.
So we use a lot of low colored malts in it, and then some oats and a lot of lactose, which is a milk sugar, and then after fermentation, we dump in just a shit ton of fresh roasted ground coffee from Portola Coffee Lab, which just got Roaster of the Year from Roast Magazine.
Wow.
And
sounds like a good magazine.
I think it is. Maybe. What's funny is I've never actually read it, but
I mean, come on, it's Roast Magazine.
You got to throw it out
it must be the magazine of coffee.
For those coffee guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's 5.4%, and it's my I think it's like maybe the most interesting beer that we've ever made, and it's the thing that's kind of helped maybe put us on the map in a stupid way to use a term that kind of sucks.
Yeah, Faction had the same kind of response to their beer called Anomaly.
Oh,
right?
that piece of shit. Roger Davis, you can go to hell.
And he was like, I don't want this beer to put me on the map, and I'm never going to make it again. Now he makes it every week or something,
Yeah, we've had a lot of shit talking back and forth about this whole idea of where he's like, yeah, man, I've been making it for this long and this and that. And I'm like, well, I never had it, and I never heard of that shitty beer.
And he came on this show, and he didn't even realize he was doing it, but he mentioned that Steve Altamari is the one at Altamont. Is that his brewery name?
Yeah,
not
Highwater.
Highwater is the one who mentioned the idea of the beer to him anyway. So it wasn't even his idea.
Oh, crazy.
So you can throw that back in his face.
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah.
Well, I liked it better when you thought he took it from you.
Yeah. And he took it from somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, I want to talk about IPAs for a second.
Can
I move us along?
Well, instead, what do you think about talking about maybe IPAs?
Okay, I'll go with that. But only this one time.
But neither.
So I had your Baby Gaga at the beginning of the show, which is like session IPA.
Yeah, man, I'm really on the fence with that name. I feel like it's pretty stupid.
Terrible.
I mean, it's stupid, but good at the same time.
It's no Rare Barrel name, that's for sure.
Oh, man, those guys are killing it with those names.
They went to college.
I had to... Oh, man, I didn't know... I didn't know how to pronounce apropos. That was really...
I thought it was the thing you spray. Like 70% iso.
It was so...
Aprope of an aprope of nothing.
Isopropyl?
I really showed my intelligence quick whenever I was trying to tell the guys at Noble about the beer the day after I had. I'm like, oh, man, I had this beer with my wife on our porch. It was so magical. A pro.
Right.
And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, a pro of nothing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so Brad's wife's a...
There's an S at the end of that. It's a pros, I think it is.
There was a pros. This is what Rare Barrel does. Like, they just exist to make other people feel stupid, and I think that's mean.
Oh, I know, man.
This segment brought to you by the Rare Barrel. You mentioned there was a sponsor earlier, right?
Yeah.
The other
radio voice.
I think, when it comes to sexy radio voices, I think Matt has all of us beat. Let's hear that Mexican one that you do. There's the Mexican radio announcer guy that uno dos tres.
It's really.
Yeah, it'll get
it's really easy when you're like, you're not on the spot at all.
Yeah.
Like it.
It's going to be great.
Sorry. Yeah, you got this.
106.5.
You know, one of those kind of things. It's great.
It's Univision.
Cinco.
That's back when men were men, right there.
That's right.
Can we talk about IPAs for just a second?
All right.
Jesus.
Let's talk about IPAs. I really like them. And
Yeah, no one ever talks about IPAs.
Well, all I want to mention is that, and I don't know if you're going to like it, but I also don't care.
Hold on, I'm adjusting my mic.
I'm
ready.
So, Baby Gaga.
I think every time I hear that name, I hate it.
It's your name. It's not like I'm naming the beer.
When I hear somebody else say it out loud, I think
your
it just sounds.
session IPA.
It really does
Well,
sound
let's have
like a
Jay
turd
say
name.
it. Jay, why don't you say it? You have a good voice.
Baby Gaga.
Oh yeah, it is bad. You're right. It's terrible.
You guys still bad. Yeah,
Still
where's
bad.
the sound effects for that
All right,
one?
but now I'm having it's your double IPA like Wakatu, Watuka.
Yeah. I mean, so I have no
what's this
idea how to say it, but we've gone on record of just calling it Wakatu Showers.
You have to say it like a Maori tribesman, right? You have to like do it with your tongue out at the end.
Wakatu.
Wakatu! You know, like, you gotta say it like, real aggressively.
Chicago.
So my comment about the two beers, and I'm worried that this is an obvious statement, but I feel like the double IPA is more balanced than the session IPA. I grabbed the double
Thank
IPA,
you.
and I'm worried that it's going to be like too much of a punch in the face, a little too bitter or something. But it's a wonderfully balanced double IPA.
Thank you.
And then, and the only other IPA I've had of yours tonight is the Baby Gaga.
What a terrible name.
What do you think about
What do you? When you say maybe not as balanced in
so
your
the
terms,
Baby Gaga to me is a pretty in-your-face session IPA.
Yeah,
there's a lot of hops, popping out of there, and so that's why I'm worried this is an obvious statement, and not a lot of backbone to back it up. There's a little bit of.
Diacetyl, DMS.
No, diesel fuel.
Okay.
Like kerosene, like a diesel fuel.
Shut up! No way.
Just like a little.
It's a hop flavor, though.
No.
But it's a hop flavor.
What's awesome about that is we use like the slightest little pinch of Nelson in the dry hop.
Okay.
So you're a true bastard with your fucking flavor, like with
Picking
your,
out
with your
that
palate,
one thing.
that you somehow picked out the 2 pounds of Nelson that we put into that beer.
Is that what it is, a Nelson thing?
Ah, man, you're a turd. You're a real like I can't like.
But I like Nelson usually.
Or
just not your Nelson.
Yeah. We just don't know how to use it yet.
But then I get to Wakatu.
Well, wait,
and
whack.
and it's it's a wonderfully balanced like double IPA. It's got all that hop character I want, but plenty of body to back it up. It's not bitter, so I feel like there's a lot of late addition and not a lot of. And I don't know. I just wondered if you felt the same. That is a session IPA supposed to be unbalanced?
You know,
if it's balanced. If it was balanced, it'd be a
Is it supposed to have
pale ale.
diesel?
Yeah, I was about to say,
I hope that's not bad.
no, I don't think it's bad at all. Like, I think that this like, it's such a brewer's term to use balance. Oh man, this beer's balanced. Jay, I love this sour that you made. It's balanced, and you're like,
I agree.
No,
Yeah.
it's not balanced. You stupid bastard! It's sour. Like if it was balanced, it wouldn't be sour. It wouldn't be sweet. It would be balanced.
Okay.
And so
Flanders.
anyway, I appreciate the fact that you don't think that the session IPA is balanced because I do want some lingering bitterness and I do want some dryness and I want this idea of like your thirst never being quenched. Where if you can. For a beer like that, if you can make it just right, which I don't think we've gotten there yet, is you have just enough lingering bitterness to dry out the palate and then just keep
Drink another one.
Just drinking, glass after glass. And for me, that beer accomplishes that.
Okay.
But for like Wakatu, I think that we have a really simple beer recipe for that for the homebrewers out there.
Yeah.
It's a mix of 3 different base malts. Bohemian Pilsner malt, 2-row malt, and Golden Promise?
Golden Promise.
Yeah, Simpson's. I'm a huge fan of Simpson's malt. And then some corn sugar at maybe 8 or 10%. We then use just one hop variety throughout the entire beer. So bittering, we only do 2 additions in the brew house. It's the bittering and Whirlpool, and that's it.
On all your beers, you're saying? Or just this one?
Most of them.
Okay.
So like most hot, like the session IPA, for instance, that's just a Whirlpool edition, and there's no other additions for that for the Wakatu Showers, on the other hand, or our Showers beers, it's always a pretty big bittering charge, and then a big Whirlpool edition, and then we send it off to the fermenter, we ferment it, and then we dry hop it pretty heavy too.
Okay,
all done with that one hop variety, so that we can really get a good idea of whether or not that hop is rad, or it's a turd, or if it's a good base, or if we've done Citra, Simcoe, Amarillo, Mosaic. We did Sriracha Ace pretty recently, and that's a hop variety that a lot of people either hate or they hate. And it was so fun, though, because we made this beer, and it was just, when it was fresh, there was so much pina colada character in this. There was so much toasted coconut. I've never experienced anything like that in a beer. And as it aged, this dill character and this lemon character kind of came out more and more, and it's so funny to me that there's this cult following of people that are once they smell any dill in Sriracha Ace, apparently that's a bad thing, and so it's just really funny to me where it's
instant.
Yeah, it's instant poopy face kind of thing, and it's when instead where else do you experience that in the beer world? It's not an off flavor. That's totally rad that we're able to get that from hops. So,
are you doing the single hop beers so that you can continue to do single hop beers, or so that you can learn about that one hop and then blend them?
So for the Showers beers, I think we started out doing those because when I started at Noble, we as a group just really didn't know much about how to use hops very well. And so we experimented a lot, man. I mean, so one of the things that we're really excited about was doing these single hop beers so that we can learn about hey, what's Citra all about all by itself? What's Mosaic all about? And what's Simcoe and Amarillo and all these other hops. And so it's we've, for us and our palates, when we went to go do Centennial, we did Centennial Showers, right?
No.
We totally did.
By the way, on the mic with Evan now is Matt Fance. Fonts.
Yeah, close enough. It works.
France.
Yeah, France.
Wait,
I don't know, man.
you know
There's
what?
no R, but that
Fonts.
works. Yeah,
It's Matt Fonts.
He's so offended by everybody pronouncing his last name incorrectly that I never know how to pronounce his last name.
He's very uptight, I could tell. Even out in the bar, he's uptight.
Yeah. Fonts. Matt Fance.
Fonts.
Well, Brad has said his last name incorrectly so many times that I legitimately can't remember how to say your last name.
I always remember by saying Francie Pants.
Francie Pants.
Yeah, Fancy Pants. That works.
But then that's wrong.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know.
Fancy pants.
Wait.
Fancy Pants.
Are we going off on a
Fonts.
tangent?
It's
Are we
Fonts.
on a tangent? No way.
No.
Hey, what about
Think of Times New Roman when you think about me. It's easy. Come on.
Well done.
It's easy.
All right. Hang on, let me put that in my brain.
Helvetica over here? Hey, what about the Equinox Showers? Because I came down and
that was TBA Showers.
TBA. Sorry, yeah, that's what it was officially named.
That was such a cool
Great
situation for us. Thank you. I remember you. Jay came down to Noble, and he got legitimately drunk at Noble, and then
Untrue.
And then left
responsibly.
And
drunk.
then he left. We both left Noble pretty drunk. Went back to my place, and then I made I want to say 6 old fashions for you in a row.
That's going on the under right there.
Drinking like when
Jay
men used to be men.
Jay then woke up the next day.
Whoa, where are we going here?
And
in your bed.
He didn't even think. He thought it was a joke that I was waking him up. And then on the way to the brewery's anniversary, this was last year. What did you blow?
Let's put that in context, Tom. We're talking about a breathalyzer. And by the way, this whole time I'm not driving anywhere.
Good. Yes. Yeah, we do need to put that out there because that's a true statement.
I'm flying my helicopter.
So I'm driving.
What did you blow?
Being driven to someplace.
I think Alex was driving you.
Alex was driving, and I may have been close to at or maybe even above the California legal limit the next morning.
This is 8 hours later. Listen, that's the best way to wake up because you don't wake up with a hangover.
No, I can say it's not the best way to wake up.
Are you? Yeah, you're going to go on record saying that, or is that off the record?
Yes, that is my statement.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Right. Your deposition is being taken.
So we did this beer called Equinox Showers, it was called TBA Showers, to be announced. And so
this is very rare barrel namey of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the hop didn't have a name yet.
Okay.
So what was so cool about this whole experience was that the hop farmer himself, I met him earlier that year up in Yakima, and he was saying that they were going to release this hop variety, and so I ended up schmoozing with him a little bit and talking to him, and was like, hey, it'd be pretty fun if we could maybe get that hop, and so he ended up graciously sending us down this hop variety that didn't even have a name. It still had a number, HBC ... and we ended up making this beer with it, and I kept emailing him back and forth like, hey, I know you're going to give this a name, man. What's the name? He's like, I can't give it to you yet, man. Like, that's the, I can't have this beer come out before the name is, released. And so we ended up making labels for it and everything like that, and we released the beer like 2 days before they gave it the name. And so it was, TBA Showers, and then it was released. We went to CBC, the Craft Brewers Conference, and then when we came back, it was, Equinox was the name of it. And it was, that hop is so cool, and it was...
So what are some characteristics of this hop?
Off the top of my head, I want to say that hop in particular, it has a pretty big, sort of blueberry character. And that character is kind of really fun, reminiscent of some natural processed coffees where there's this really big blueberry character where they get this sort of cool fermenty character, and it's that's definitely very present. But for the most part, it's all just really beautiful ripe fruit and some cantaloupe. And
what about
this? You say dank, bro?
I hate the word dank. I love the Cellar Maker guys, by the way, but I hate. I think the word dank is so I don't know. It's just
childish.
Well, it just brings it down. It brings down
wow.
I really
you guys are off base.
Look, man, I really like beer and I like fucking around for sure, but
Swear. You guys are on the highway to the dankers.
When we put...
I'm going to have to ask you to never do that again.
Wow, Bevo just put the gauntlet down on you.
That's a Cellar Maker beer, Bevo. Cross promo.
When we...
I see your point here. You're just trying to say, we don't have to dumb it down.
Yeah, when we give, flavor profiles of something, we give them, things that matter, like Starburst, white gummy bears...
I thought we made those up.
Jolly Rancher characters.
Never heard of it. Peach Rings of Saturn.
And I'm going to be honest with you.
Peach Rings of Saturn.
Actually, I want to be honest with you. I think that's a weakness on our show, too. We fall back on some of these sort of generic terms that don't say a whole lot. Nicole Ernie's come on the program and said that to us a few times. I think we fall into this category, too. We screw up, too. I wish we had more descriptors like that, which actually say something. Like if you say white gummy bear, people listening go...
It's a thing.
I've had that.
Yeah.
And it's more descriptive than some of these generic ones. And so I like your attitude on this. I think you're right.
It's so it's so easy though to just not give it some thought.
Yeah.
Release a beer.
Yeah.
You're busy beyond belief anyway, and so you put together this flavor profile. It's herbal, it's earthy,
grapefruit, piney, dink. Boom.
Grapefruit, piney, dank. Yeah.
Grapefruit. Boom. IPA. Boom.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's that's the a lot of times thing. Jay.
Oh, I was just going to say about the Equinox beer, something that's a single hop double IPA. The thing you're talking about, the blueberry, the kind of fruitiness of coffee. Sometimes, what struck me about that beer, it was a complete picture of an IPA, a balanced IPA, all from one hop.
Yeah.
I almost couldn't believe it was from a single hop.
Okay.
You know how. And I know, Tasty, you can appreciate this. Layering of hops, you go 2 hops, maybe sometimes a third hop. You don't want to layer it too much, but a single hop can sometimes be 1 note or maybe 2 notes. This was like a complete symphony.
Yeah, fermented Equinox tastes different than it once it goes to fermentation, it does a change, and it doesn't all change, so you end up with that layering, even if you didn't want it.
Just such a cool thing about that beer.
Is Mosaic another example of a hop like that has so many different characteristics that it's kind of a full hop? Because when you talk about that, like one hop that has a lot of things, I think of Mosaic.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, Mosaic is a full expression as well. as we've gone through these single hop beers and these IPAs, it's just like there's certain ones that like Amarillo comes to mind, where Amarillo is this just top note, this one thing that's totally rad.
Yeah.
But like you need this base, and so as brewers, you kind of continue to figure out for your palate like what that needs that goes along with it. And so, for me, it's, Chinook is a beautiful accompaniment with Amarillo, or Mosaic is a really nice accompaniment. And
okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, it needs like, it's such a
one-dimensional,
like top, like citrusy sort of character that comes across to some people maybe as BOE. And it also kind of has a lot of times this overripe pineapple sort of character. Or what were we going to say? We're going to say Capis.
No, that's a different hop.
Simcoe is the Capis hop. Wakatu is a hop, right?
Yeah,
that's what this beer is. What characteristics are in that hop?
So Wakatu for me, so New Zealand hop variety. And I want to say it's from Rawaka, if I remember correctly, the Rawaka area. And so that hop is, for me, it's a lot of lime character. There's this, this is really nice herbal character that kind of reminds me of shiso, which is like, shiso is this really beautiful herb that is a mix of like mint and basil. It's a Japanese herb. And then I'm getting a blank, so I'm not drinking it at the moment.
I'm finding it. Well, as soon as you said lime, that's a great descriptor that I haven't heard attributed to a hop before. But I feel like this. You mentioned Nelson earlier, which is like everybody hates it. So the descriptors you gave for this are like sort of right on the fence of the Nelson, right? Like the Nelson, it goes sort of lemony and it's herbally, like you're talking about, but more toward what people don't like. This one is on the fence more toward what people do like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Nelson's Nelson's one of the cooler hop varieties I've ever worked with.
I like Nelson, by the way. I do not fall in the I hate camp. However, I've had some pretty shitty Nelson beers.
Oh man, I mean, I've had a lot of shitty beers with great ingredients.
Right.
Like that's a thing, man. I mean, like just like I've gotten the best ribeye from my local butcher and gone home and fucked it up. That's a thing, man. I mean, just because you're using great ingredients doesn't mean you're making a great product.
Yeah.
And the same thing is said for like I've seen breweries that don't use expensive ingredients and they end up making these fantastic beers, and you're just like, what do you know that I don't know, man? Like,
right.
Like you're able to take what I would consider like a shitty caramel malt or base malt or whatever else, or 2012 hops, and you're able to just squeeze out this beautiful baby. How
does that happen?
I don't know. I mean, like it's weird, but
like Coors. I mean,
like JP's favorite Coors.
Yeah.
Well, Banquet.
Coors.
Yeah.
No, it's Banquet, so it's Coors.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Get it right.
It's more elegant, asshole.
It's by the way, he was calling Matt an asshole, not me.
That's right.
He was looking right past Evan.
Okay, just a listener, you can't see that eye contact.
Hey, let me do this real quick. Beer Connoisseur magazine, great magazine that's out there. They're putting out a new product right now, and you can get in at a founding membership. They're putting out the Beer Connoisseur Club. It's by Beer Connoisseur magazine, of course. And you can go to Kickstarter and check it out. Search Beer Connoisseur. Your name will be recognized as a founding member in the fall magazine issue. If you go support on Kickstarter, it'll include a 1-year subscription to Beer Connoisseur magazine, which is a beautiful tribute to beer. That magazine is just wonderful. Membership card proudly displaying your love of beer, discounts and incentives with the Beer Connoisseur Global Partners, and access and discounts to beer events, festivals worldwide, online club community, invitations to club exclusive events, regular e-newsletters with members' highlights, events, and all the newest partners that are part of the Connoisseur Club. So they've been, you could look back in our archives, and we had the Beer Connoisseur magazine people on the program right when they were starting up, too. And they're passionate about beer, and now they're taking it to the next level with the Beer Connoisseur Club. Go check it out on Kickstarter and support them so they can give you a new club to join.
Yeah,
and
do
help
that.
you out. So we're running out of time, but I'm not done talking beer with you guys. So I wonder, I'd like to take a break.
You know what? Let's come back tomorrow.
You want us to come back tomorrow?
Oh, never mind. My car got broken into. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, the car got broken into.
Did it really?
Oh, I didn't tell you about that.
Up here?
Next segment.
Yeah.
Did you guys come up here?
Was this the cliffhanger
That's a
time?
good
or-
teaser.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you just teased the next
Wait.
thing.
Cliffhanger?
After the break.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine what happened?
All right.
Oh, man. Let's just say don't go to San Francisco.
Yes, or Oakland for that matter.
Don't even do it.
It happened out
I
front of
think it's called
Cellarmaker,
Frisco
right?
or San Fran.
What? Look, I wouldn't call it out right in front of Cellarmaker. It was at least like 500 feet away. For sure.
Yeah.
At least that's where the car was the last time you saw it.
So here's,
Oh, man.
I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you, terrible Bay Area resident. I don't know San Francisco all that well, but early on when City Beer Store opened up, which was it's just right up the street from Cellarmaker, I had interviewed the guy on our FM radio show, and I remember in the pre-interview before the show he came in and he was telling me that somebody had gotten shot in front of like across the street the day before or something.
Oh, wow.
And I think that the area has gotten somewhat better. You didn't get shot.
It's a lot nicer now.
He probably deserved
a lot nicer.
It is a
No
fine-
one offered me a shot while I was on that
Okay,
street
good.
for sure. I would have loved to take a shot, but just crack.
I remember talking to this guy and going, wait, somebody got shot outside your store in San Francisco? This is insane. And he's like, yeah, if we could not talk about that on the show, that would be cool.
Well, he probably did it.
But this was like fucking 8 years ago, so I'm talking about it now. There's a statute of limitations.
Right.
And I'm past it.
That'll be okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a big word thing, but yeah.
It's actually a new rare barrel beer that's coming out. It's called
Statute of
Statuois
Limitations.
of
Spring release
Limitation.
2016.
Yeah, it's a weird name. Yeah, we're all submitting names too.
Oh, here comes Brad. He's gonna watch. Here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Brad, can I get a beer? Let's see. I'll take a naughty sauce.
Great. We're gonna take a quick break.
Oh no. Wakatu showers.
When we
one.
Am I in your way, Evan?
Oh, hold on. Brad, can I get? Let's see. Oh, Matt, what do you want?
You want to order for everybody?
Pilsner sounds nice.
Okay, cool. So one Pilsner, Beardy, dude.
How about that Wakatu?
Shut the fuck up, Beardy.
I'll take a Moscow showers.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
every time he poops.
That's a cocktail. I don't know if you had that last night,
Oh man!
but
all I know, man, is that's a wet dream for sure. Moscow shower. Oh.
all right. When we come back, we have more things to do. Yeah. More beer to try, more things to do. We've got beer news and other stuff. We're here with the Noble Ale something guys.
Oh, cool.
And the traffic.
Good job, Noble. Wait, you try it out again.
Shut the fuck up. Hang on. Whatever. It's the session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Beer tasting games that train your palate, a brewery locator, and the brand new interactive beer style guide. These are just a few of the awesome things you'll find on craftbeer.com. The style guide is a beautiful example of technology in beer. Browse beer style families or turn on the automatic beer style finder and explore beer through color, bitterness, ABV, aroma, and flavor. It's really the coolest way to explore every beer style besides having them all in front of you. Go to craftbeer.com and click on Beer Styles to start the guide. Plus, enjoy the rest of craftbeer.com, the Brewers Banter blogs, beer education, how to host a beer tasting, and the invaluable Draft Quality Manual. Tons of great content that makes your beer better. Visit the new craftbeer.com right now and explore the website that brings you all the passion, camaraderie, and creativity of the craft beer community. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack
stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy.
BN Army, I'm here to talk seriously for a second. You all are partially responsible for something explosive, and it's time you answer for it.
Moonlight Meadery is exploding.
Yeah, exploding across the country. Wait, they just landed in Australia with insane quality meads.
With nearly 70 different varieties of mead on the market, Moonlight Meadery has blown up the mead category and completely reinvented it.
Seriously? What? Seriously? What? You're paying money for that watered-down mead when you could have a Moonlight mead?
Moonlight meads explode with quality and flavor.
They're a party in a bottle. Did someone say party?
If you want mead and want the best, you want meads from Moonlight Meadery and will accept nothing less.
And now get 15% off by going to moonlightmeadery.com/BNArmy and use coupon code BNArmy at checkout.
Hey, sign me up for that party.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Segmented, demented, fermented.
It's the session.
Welcome back. This is Evan Price with Noble Ale Works. Killing it. Killing it. Okay, I have nothing more to say. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Now you had to go like traffic and weather together at the top of the hour.
Remind me your name again. I keep fucking it up somehow. It was Chustin?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And I think I'm drinking the Nasty Juice.
Yeah.
Nasty sauce. It's on tap here at the Hop Grenade. Hey, real quick before we get further into this nonsense, the Pleasant Hill Blues and Brews Festival is upon us Friday, July 17th and July 18th. You can get tickets now. It's at Pleasant Hill Park for you local folks here around the Hop Grenade. Enjoy a day of beer tasting, delicious food, and free music. The bands are the Chris Kane Band, Frankie G and Conviction, Spin Out, Karumpus Room, the Used Blues Band. There's also a Friday night pre-party concert on the 19th where there'll be music from the Big Jungle, food, beer, and wine from 6 to 9 p.m. So go check it out, the Pleasant Hill Blues and Brews Festival, Friday, July 17th and Saturday, July 18th. And we're going to be there. In fact, I think Bevo is going to be there showing off her goods.
That's so cool.
I mean, our merchandise. You'll be there with our merchandise.
I will be there with your merchandise.
That's what I meant by our goods.
And by that, I mean your junk.
Yes.
Whoa, goodness.
You'll be there showing off our junk.
Well, hopefully someone will want
it. Agreed.
That was pretty
finally.
clever.
Kate hasn't wanted it this entire time.
Yeah. Nasty Juice is really good.
Oh, thank you, Chustin. Cheston. Okay, so you're drinking Naughty Sauce.
Naughty Sauce. That coffee flavor is pretty incredible.
Thanks, man.
There's actually no coffee in it.
Oh, that's weird.
So
I say coffee flavor.
It's a new single hop.
Yeah, that's a new hop variety right there.
It's called Justin.
It's called
Cool Beans.
Oh, man, you said that.
Jay, you have to leave now.
Oh, that's the worst,
that was the worst.
You're going so well.
Save it for the car, Jay.
Jay has a couple things that like. No, come back.
Just sit on the couch right out there. All right, come back, Jay.
He used to be respected.
What's up, Jay? Oh, Jay's back! Yay!
I love it when Jay comes back.
Oh, man, that's what my dad used to do.
Wait, he just ran out for a pack of cigarettes.
Your dad came back?
Yeah, so awesome sauce or whatever.
Okay, so you're drinking Naughty Sauce. Yeah.
Yes.
I talked about that beer a little bit earlier, and I think this was this beer's been really fun for us. We haven't done anything with it in regards to like big medals or anything like that, but it's
But you could. This could be in your future. Where's the coffee place? You mentioned the name, but where is it?
So Portola Coffee Lab. It's in Orange County, like I don't know, badass roastery, and they they're so legit, man. I mean, Jeff Dugan, the owner of the place, he flies out to these different countries, and he cups and tastes all of these different beans, different kinds of beans, and he decides what they're going to have in house, and he really puts so much thought and time into the flavor profiles of what their coffees are going to be, and then how to brew them, and
how do you put it in the beer? What's the form of?
Well, I listen to this show somewhat regularly, and usually the answer is I can't tell you that, or whatever it is.
Which always pisses me off.
Oh, it drives me nuts, man. So
I can't tell you that.
So it's so easy. I'm going to tell you exactly what we do. So we bring the tank down to 38 degrees after fermentation, and then one guy gets on the grinder, the other guy gets on the ladder, and they continue to pass bags of fresh ground coffee. Coffee has this, within the first 15 minutes of being ground, it's still releasing CO2. And so if you want to minimize, one, oxidation, but then also, two, if you want to get the most character out of the beans, you really want to get it in there as soon as possible, as soon as it's ground. And so we're able to get it in there within, a couple minutes of each addition. And so we put some positive pressure on the tank, and we just start dumping it in through the dry hop port with a fine grind, and it settles to the bottom of the conical fermenter. And then we transfer it to a bright tank after we let it sit. And then there's really there's kind of all this coffee dust that ends up getting transferred with it. I call it coffee dust. And that, to me, has this really terrible, cigarette-y character. And the first time that we made it, I was so bummed out because I was tasting this beer straight out of the tank right before we transferred, and then we transferred, and I was like, oh, man, I must have mixed up and whatever else happened. And so it was this total, turd, and I'm just like, this was not what we were expecting to make, and this was over 2.5 years ago at this point. And anyway, after that, coffee dust kind of settles, which is about, I think it takes a couple days. I think it's 3 days. And then after that point, it's ready to go.
Okay.
It's coffee dust.
I call it coffee dust. I know it's a stupid term.
Is it coffee character in the yeast, actually? Or?
No, I wouldn't say that.
It's actually clear except for this coffee flavor? Or?
Yeah. So this all this coffee...
just finely ground coffee. Right?
Yeah, coffee particles.
So this physically is particles of coffee.
Yeah, totally. Right. And so they ended up making it in this transfer over because we don't know how to do anything correctly at Noble, and
right.
And so it ends up in this being within this beer, and so the first time that we did it, we were pretty bummed out, and then
but it drops out in the bright tank. Obviously.
It drops out in the bright tank, and then you end up with this totally rad beer ish.
Yeah,
ish.
Well,
so this
the CO2 part, I think, is new information on the BN. Of all the coffee additions I've ever asked people about, and some have answered, I don't think anybody said, hey, it's still releasing CO2 when it's freshly ground. That's a nice piece of info.
Yeah, I don't like to tell people that for sure, but
nobody listens.
No.
So.
It depends on how long after it's been roasted.
Oh,
I see.
Yes. So we get ours are, ours is roasted that morning, and so we are, a common a thought, some food for thought for people that are doing coffee beers out there is the fact that just because you can brew a rad cup of coffee with that coffee bean doesn't mean it's going to end up, being good in the beer.
Yeah.
And the same can be applied to hops when you're doing hop selection and you're doing these other things, to where there's a difference between what you smell and taste outside of the beer and then what it does in the beer. And so when you look at something like coffee, we take some different we go a different direction with the coffee, which I can't share. That's one thing I won't share about. But the long and the short of it is the fact that like.
Do you eat the coffee and then shit it out and then grind it?
Oh, it's a delicacy.
That might be that's the reason why this beer is so rare.
Yeah,
it takes us a while to squeeze one out.
Right. So, if freshly ground coffee is releasing CO2, how come you don't get like fine bubbles in coffee that you brew with fresh grounds?
Absolutely, you do. So if you
do,
yeah. So when you fresh grind some coffee, you have this process known as the bloom. And so, whenever you obviously don't make good coffee at home.
Well, isn't this a beer show?
But if you, here's why. And I'm not trying to throw you under the bus here. But he just uses the normal like a Mr. Coffee like to make it. But like if you French press, you actually see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you French press, you can see that. But if you do a pour over method,
or K-cup. What? The K-cups? The K-cups also, there's like on top of that.
What's the K-cup?
For the Keurig.
It's really similar. It looks like your mash looks. So you grind up all this grain, right? And then you barely add enough water. That's like the pour over method with the coffee.
Yeah.
And it expands because it's absorbing the moisture.
Okay. So when you, so if you're looking at like a, making a small cup of coffee, using the pour over method. Whenever you have this, it's a V-shaped brewer, and so you have the coffee in there that you just ground. And whenever you add the hot water, like immediately you see this stuff bubbling and releasing CO2, and it's. Yeah, I mean it's a pretty fun thing to the point to where like whenever you brew a cup of coffee, like you wet the grounds and you give it 30 seconds to bloom and to release that CO2 because otherwise like you're not going to get the sort of extraction that you're hoping for.
You guys are a team.
We finish each other's
sandwiches.
Wow, look at these guys. Man, like the same
sandwiches,
person.
Yeah. I love
sharing sandwiches, man. Good beer.
Yeah.
It's a dank beer.
But anyway,
it's
so I'm a huge coffee fan, and I think that's why like Imbibe magazine is my personal favorite magazine, where it's like a mix of the things that I really appreciate, where it's coffee, beer, cocktails, and then just a little bit about wine every once in a while. And it's great to be able to get all of that in one magazine.
Mm-hmm.
They paid me money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you getting like a per subscription?
It's really almost as good as Beer Connoisseur. Beer Connoisseur is like a little bit better.
Yes, thank you.
Like just a little bit.
It's more focused, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imbibe if you're a connoisseur.
All right, I have to move us on a little bit. We're still going to talk.
Are they a paid sponsor?
All our clothes got stolen.
I also do want to point out, Jay, that there is I just Googled it because I'm curious. There is a magazine about water. It's called Water.
It's called Water. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
It's called
We're in a drought.
Liquid. Yeah.
That's why I like to read it.
It's not based out of California.
No.
Clearly, it's,
water is the essence of wetness.
And wetness. Oh man, that's Zoolander right there, man.
Yes.
You are all.
He did it.
We don't have enough cameras in the studio to see right now that Jay is Zoolander.
What is this?
He's doing his blue mealy look.
All right, a couple of things that we have to do. We got to do a little beer news before the end of the program. So how about we do that right now? We have some beer news, Moscow?
Yes, we do.
All right. Beer news is brought to you today by the Wine and Hop Shop.
Has anyone in this room had a Beck's recently?
Oh, dude, I crushed it.
But have you had
today?
it?
Well,
I didn't open it.
So you, my friend, are soon going to be eligible for a refund on that Beck's you drank.
Neil Patrick Harris told me that I get to get a refund. Yeah.
Really?
Am I stepping all over your thing? What?
No. What he say? Like, you get your money back if you don't like it. And
Wait, is that Heineken or
I think it's Heineken.
Not
from him, from someone at Heineken.
Wait, hang on. Neil Patrick Harris is a spokesman for Heineken right now?
Oh, yes. He did a Super Bowl commercial.
That shit up, dude.
All right.
Who's Neil Patrick Harris? Why do you guys
Sorry,
all know that?
Doogie Howser. Sorry.
Oh, is that the How I Met Your Mother guy?
Yes.
Bex won an
Although
award.
we like to cite 30-year-old shows, not recent shows.
Well, sorry.
Back when
Sorry, Evan. We forgot that you're 17.
Thank you.
that show's from when men used to be
understand.
men. You know.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, Bex won an award at World Beer Cup, and then Kanye came up and stole it.
It was really weird.
That was the worst joke ever. That was so good. Nobody laughed.
Well, I feel like his last one was worse. That one was just more elaborate.
He did get up and leave the last time.
He's sitting there just like, oh man, I'm gonna bring this joke right now.
Can we actually create a soundboard that only has cricket sounds
For Jay?
for just bad jokes?
Or just Jay.
For just Jay? Is that what you meant?
No, he's not the only one that makes bad jokes.
Right. He's just the newest one.
Right.
All right. What do we have for Bex?
Yeah, well, a refund if you can produce valid receipts, as much as $50 of that refund. It's part of a class action lawsuit. The settlement, claiming that AB tricked consumers into believing that the beer was an authentic German Pilsner.
Oh.
In point of fact, it's brewed in St. Louis since 2012. And even if without receipts, because who saves those, you may be entitled to as much as, hold on to your seats, $12.
Whoa! Hey, yo.
How do I sign up for this?
I could buy 1 6-pack of craft beer with that refund.
Well, not if it's grapefruit sculpin, but otherwise, yes.
Everything else.
Almost
regular
buy that
Sculpin.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
This
It was 14.
Yeah.
I bought this. I bought this Hawaiian shirt at Ross. I just want to point out.
That's awesome.
You dressed for
That's
less.
why I don't like it. I love it.
Yeah, I bought a pair of shorts and
Beardy's
socks
blind.
and panties.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, we didn't talk
are
about
you
our
wearing
car
those?
getting broken into.
Yeah, I got a new set of panties.
Oh.
No.
All right. Bex sucks.
Yeah.
So the story there is that Bex sucks and AB lied again. And somebody's suing.
Nobody lied.
So you got
no one lied.
Come on.
So you got
If you're
broken into and all your clothes got stolen?
Okay, check this out. So we go over to this beautiful brewery in San Francisco called Cellar Maker.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
They have some dank stuff over there.
The dankest.
The dankest of dank. But anyway, yeah, we and then we walk over to this place called City Beer Store. That's pretty rad, man.
And safe, by the way. Very
I
safe.
had that. Jay, can you pronounce the Santi beer for me? What's the name of that brewery?
Sante Adarius.
Oh, there they are. Yeah. I don't speak English good.
What do you mean now?
And so, anyway, we get back to our car, and yeah, some asshole broke into our car. He cracked the windshield, or not the windshield, the passenger side door.
Yeah.
And just grabbed, he grabbed my backpack, Matt's backpack, and left all the beer.
Really?
Yeah, legitimately. I mean, we had 2 cases of beer sitting right there that all the glasses covered.
What a terrible bum.
Well,
He probably tasted one and was like, I'd rather have the backpack.
Yeah, it was the Brett beer, so it was like,
This session IPA is not balanced.
Right. Oh, that's exactly what he said.
And the name's stupid.
Yeah.
So Matt and I we woke up this morning and we went to Ross and we had this original idea of like both buying Hawaiian shirts. But then he couldn't find one that fit him because of the giant fatso.
No, because I've got broad shoulders.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Broad fat ass.
And then, so like we both had to buy underwear and socks.
Oh my God.
And I mean, so we were just walking out of this place and we're going to our car and we change in our car and it's just like immediately like, like just like clean underwear and everything, you know.
We could have paid more, but we dressed for less.
You did. I feel like you guys came out on top. I mean, looking at that shirt right now.
Oh man, this shirt. I mean, I was really excited about this $12 shirt that I got at Ross. They're not paying me, by the way.
You got it for $9.
Do you love it?
I love it.
I got it at Ross.
Moscow, contact Ross tomorrow because I feel like we're onto something here.
This week's beer news brought to you by Ross. Yes, Ross.
Yeah. All right. What? Anything else gets sold like of importance besides your shitty clothes?
Well, okay, look, I mean, yes. I had a Highland Park shirt I really like and a McLeod shirt I really like, and I'm going to have to get free shirts back from both of those guys.
Right. That's rude.
I'd like to thank Cellar Maker for giving me a shirt to wear for today.
Oh, dude, Taco Hands.
Taco Hands. And I'd also like to thank Jay from Rare Barrel for giving me a shirt to wear tomorrow. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, he gave me a new hat.
It's a skinny guy shirt.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I'm going to really pull off.
I would like to thank breweries for carrying broad-shouldered shirts.
Version, but okay.
Oh man, it's so funny to me. Like, you know, I mean, the beer community has like a lot of big dudes, and
Yeah.
like people like me end up being in charge of like purchasing the shirts, and then these dudes come in and they're just like, "Can you just get some shirts that we can wear?" And it's like 30% of the people coming in, and you're just like, okay, I'll stop getting like the American Apparel skinny shirt for all you dudes, I swear.
So we have the same problem because the American Apparel, like the fabric is just better, like it's a higher quality shirt. So we started doing that.
It feels nice.
And
For
then
who?
we clearly for the wrong people. We ended up not selling any of the American Apparel shirts to our audience. Well, we sold all the mediums. And we sold all the, but once you got to like an XL,
oh no way,
no,
I love
we're not
it.
buying that stuff.
XL,
yeah, but you're
XL
not
American Apparel.
Yeah, but you're not who we're talking about here.
I heard broad-shouldered,
but I was being polite.
Okay,
I mean, I'm talking about fat dudes.
Fat.
What do you need me to spell it out for you?
I'm fat.
It's a lifestyle.
I'm 30 pounds overweight.
The point is, they stay on the shelf.
They stay on the shelf instead of on the fat.
So we had to go back to like Hanes Beefy Tea, which by the way is a horrible name.
Beefy.
Like, why do they even name it that? It's just calling you out.
That's Brad's.
You know what I mean? Like, name it something else, like Hanes
pork pie.
Yeah. I mean, something not like Hanes. I'm a man, or I don't know.
Husky.
But like,
Go back to Husky. Husky. I mean, my mom said I was Husky. It made me feel good.
Yeah.
Dad
the
bods
special
are
section.
in.
Right. That's a new.
Dad bods are in. Hanes dad bod.
If you go to the swap meet, there's 5 times thickness there. That's where I buy all my shirts.
You go to the swap meet for your shirts.
Oh man, dude!
I'm pretty sure you're buying
swap
tents. That's camping gear you're buying.
First of all, dad shirts are still a thing, and it's my dad used to wear shirts when.
Mine too.
My dad also wore shirts.
Back when men were men.
He used to, when he left the house occasionally, he used to wear shirts.
Unless it was to get the paper, then he just walked out.
Hey, hop back on your fixie, get out of here. Yeah, we're wearing men's shirts because we do men work.
Did your dad also write in all capitals and have a mustache?
He didn't know how to write.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Are you happy now, Moscow?
No, I'm not.
Well, he knew how, but he didn't have any hands. Thanks for bringing it up.
I think that was a font joke.
What else is in the news, Moscow?
Well, yeah. By the way, they stopped teaching cursive in elementary schools. That's
did?
in the news.
Yes, it is.
That's a thing.
That was my next story. Thanks for ruining it.
Dude. Also, when we were in San Francisco.
Jesus.
I mean, gay pride. Like crazy, it was really fun, man. I mean,
great weekend for it to be here.
People are going nuts, and
hey, that's a gay joke, and that's inappropriate.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
Right. Lesbians are gay too.
Gay. Look, you guys are trying to make me. Look, I'm gonna stop talking.
Good idea. That's how we work around here.
Equality.
What else is in the news?
Well, let me finish the story because
this one's stupid.
Really? It's
whatever. Because we already know
this one you're picking
people
up?
are suing.
Wait, are
and
you
then,
still on the Bex thing?
Yeah. They're going to get $12 like we get it. Some asshole's suing.
Plus GRV.
Yeah.
Kanye, Beck, anybody?
I think it's an important story. But
Okay, did you actually have something of content?
Oh, I just got that.
No, you know what? That's the news. Brought to you by Ross. Yes, Ross.
Dress for less.
Do you like it?
I love it.
It's my favorite news. We're done with news? That's awesome.
No.
It's my favorite news ever.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't care.
Oh, did you actually?
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it. We'll do it live.
I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Is there a point? I don't know, man.
What's the next story?
Things happen.
Give us the headline. We'll decide if it's
We should do this all the time.
The U.S. House of Representatives.
No.
That was not the headline. That was the first sentence.
What's the next headline?
Lagunitas.
Oh,
Okay.
dude, they're opening
All
a
right.
brewery. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're listening.
They're opening a
We know that one.
Yeah.
Evan's the best news guy ever.
So,
That's your name, right,
guys,
Evan?
guys,
That's
this
you?
is big news.
Evan's gonna-
Lagunitas is opening a brewery in Azusa. It's going to be ginormous. The first year, they're going to do 420,000 barrels. Coincidence? I think not. 420,000.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Azusa is known for its ample
Okay,
amounts
so,
of water.
hey, Moscow, what do you got next that I can interrupt on?
Is there more to it, or is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Oh!
I got to admit, I like Evan's version of the news.
Oh, by all means. By all means.
What's the next headline?
Well, see, now this one he can't do because it's an email from a listener that only I am privy to here on this.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past
Yeah,
him.
maybe not.
Dear Moscow,
So far, he's right.
why is there a white slab in my can of beans?
That's the story. I was
And
gonna
your
answer
reply
it.
is going to say, that is the queen bean. But never mind. That's a Ren and Stimpy joke. I like Ren and Stimpy growing up.
Bevo, cue the crickets.
Surprised you're that old.
Do you have the crickets anywhere? Anywhere?
He was born back.
The crickets are usually from Moscow, so he deleted them from his own computer. He's like, there won't be no more crickets. And that's the news brought to you today
by Ross.
By the Wine and Hop Shop.
Yes. Go to wineandhop.com and you'll find no nonsense, unlike this stupid segment. You will find $8 flat rate shipping for BN listeners. Enter, what is it, in the shopping, in the notes of the shopping cart at checkout. BN shipping, and you get $8 flat rate shipping on orders under 50 pounds. They got all sorts of good stuff at wineandhop.com.
Beautiful. And don't forget, you heard some great recipes from Evan tonight, but you can also get more great recipes from Modern Homebrew Recipes. It's the new book by Gordon Strong, put out by the Brewers Association. Brewers Publications, a division of the Brewers Association. It's a good book, right?
I like it a lot.
Really good recipes coming out of there. Craft beer's about innovation, and Gordon Strong gets right in there and talks about new styles. Modern Homebrew Recipes.
Yeah, we have this
from
idea.
Brewers Publications.
We have this idea at Noble that we're going to randomly select one of the recipes from that book and enter it into that category because we've never won a GBF medal.
Good idea.
So we're just going to take a recipe straight from that book, enter it in, and and then that's going to be that.
I feel like you could win.
And you know what? We're going to get a gold for sure.
You should have a good name for it.
It's going to be, it's going to be
take
like
the name
We Got Lazy.
We're going to do the one in the book, the exact same.
we want to call it the same exact name in the book, actually.
I think we should call it.
Well, now I hope you don't win this year.
Right? Oh, man.
And then you can...
Too many people talk at once.
Oh, there's the crickets.
Where the hell did that come from?
It's a ringtone on my phone. I just had to find it.
Brilliant.
I thought that came from Jay's
Took
pants.
hella long, but I found it.
But
we're gonna call it shit from Shinola. We don't know. From
back when men were men.
Nobody cared about that.
Yeah, no. That's pretty much my life. It's okay.
Evan has the best responses to everybody's shitty jokes.
Oh man! Well, Matt always has this this.
Let's call up your Baby Gaga. That's great. I'm in charge.
Matt always has this thing where every time, oh man, you're playing while I'm talking. Touche, you win.
Oh my god! Are we done?
We're ready to go.
Yeah,
we got Twitter game.
And so you want to skip the Drunk of the Week voicemails again?
Oh no, let's play some Drunk of the Week voicemails. We can't skip it again because people have been calling in very intent on winning Drunk of the Week. So here's the deal: we're going to play some voicemails and then we will vote and see if anybody wins our official Drunk of the Week. How many do you have?
A lot, like 9. A bunch of them.
And they're all really good?
Yeah, this is 9 from 15, and I got rid of a few of them.
All right, let's do it.
All right, here's someone that called in after BNA 10.
Justin, talent, hack, et cetera, you know the deal. How's it going? Calling you after BNA 10, and just wanted to pay you a compliment, Sammy. On the one hand, BNA 10 was absolutely awesome. There were just so many amazing beers. I know on the Untappd page you guys had written that it probably won't suck, and it didn't. Highlight for me was the Monkey Paw Coconut and Sea Salt Dark IPA. I can hear JP hating it from here already.
There you go. I'm hitting this call and this guy's beer description.
Kim and Andy Wood. You can saw Blobber Glop in his unicorn outfit. You expertly managed.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
So BNA 10, that's number 1.
Yes, hello. I would like to enter my candidacy for the Drunkard of the Weekday contest.
He's from the 20s.
Here's the outline of the items I have consumed so far. I started my day with a smoothie made of Greek yogurt and kale. And then, secondly, I consumed a rather large portion of my home-brewed kombucha. It has a very healthy mother culture. You gentlemen should see it. Really, it is quite amazing. And then, after the kombucha, I consumed an entire carafe of Earl Grey breakfast blend. Oh, it was delicious. And then,
When I Krav Maga
as if the Earl Grey
That's got to be a computer voice.
kombucha and the smoothie hadn't set me on the correct path, I went down to my local coffee shop, and where I procured a free trade organic espresso triple shot with almond milk. Now, as a result of these items, I am experiencing some heart palpitations and some mild intestinal distress. And as you can imagine, my kitties, they are very concerned, but they seem quite agitated at my current state. Okay, that consists of my entire list for now, and I do remain hopeful to win the Drunkard of the Weekday contest.
The weird thing about this one is that the content obviously sounds bogus, but it doesn't sound like a fake voice.
No, dude, that's for sure. It's a computer, man. There's no way.
It's Strong Sad from HomestarRunner.com.
Oh,
I believe so.
HomestarRunner.com, man. That's yeah. Look, they paid me as well. Just wanted to HomestarRunner.com.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, here's a great one. Someone calling in from their bicycle.
Hi, this is Troy. I'm on my bike and I'm really drunk. I just got back from the pub drinking double IPAs. So, have a good one. And, Beardy, keep talking.
Oh, a Beardy fan.
Now, the beauty is he called back a little bit later and left this one.
Hey, this is Thor from Denmark, still paddling. Gone 5 kilometers.
Day 7.
That's like 50 kilometers, 50 miles. You know, conversion and shit. Almost fall into a ditch there. Oh, man. I hate this. Okay. Just wanted to let you guys know I'm still all right. I'm still alive.
Thank you.
All right, and then one final one about 20 minutes later.
Hi, this is Tor from Denmark. I made it home. Started to rain twice. When I got home, the wife ripped the door open and looked at me and slammed into my face, so I guess I made it good.
Guess I made it good.
Man, Beardy, I think this is your first fan, right? That's really cool.
Well,
this is a big moment for you.
Yeah. Like, the only problem is that he rode his bike all the way to Denmark.
Yeah.
Did he say
instead of your house or your bedroom?
Right. Yeah,
Beardy,
whatever.
I feel like you shouldn't look a gift fan in the mouth. You gotta just take it.
Yeah, man.
I took it that night and every night since.
All right, what else we got?
Hello there, Brewing Network turd burglars. This is Brandon from Fort Worth. I'm sitting here in my man cave / beat laboratory / brewery, and I just listened to the session where you talked about winning Club of the Year, and instead of just calling up and winning DOTW, I thought I would drop some science on you at the same time.
Oh.
Justin, I got a message for you, man.
Okay.
You were looking at this thing all wrong. The Brewing Network Club doesn't need you to come to their defense. They're not out there wishing that some superhero would come along and defend their honor while they're helplessly being trashed by the masses. Listen to them talk to you, man. They all say, fuck all those people. They don't care. They're not looking for somebody to come defend their honor. So do yourself a favor and chill out about it and let the Brewing Network defend themselves, because they're more than capable. They defended themselves in a homebrew competition. I think they could defend themselves on the internet.
Touche.
That's just my 2 cents. I love y'all. Peace from Fort Worth.
All right.
Thanks, Dr. Phil.
All right, couple more.
Yeah, that's so boring.
Where's the long-time listener, first-time caller? I feel like there hasn't been one yet.
Or dude, what's the Mexican puto guy?
Why is it always Mexicans with you guys?
I'll hang up and listen.
I'll take your answer off the air.
We live in
They're from Anaheim. I mean, come on.
Dude, we live in Anaheim. I mean, there's a lot of like awesome like Mexican radio stations. Like,
I don't understand the music, but I like it.
Oh man, Mexican ska. You know, it's just it's so good.
One ton tomato. I don't know exactly what they're saying.
I'm standing.
That's called mariachi.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mexican ska is called mariachi. Yeah. What else you got?
Yes, hello. I would like to...
Oh, wait, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
Let's do this guy.
Hey, what's up, boners?
This is Bunchos. Just want to say I met you guys for the first time this weekend. So a couple things. Number one, John Plissé, you're a beautiful man. Number two, Jamil, you are a pope for sure. Helped me a lot in my journey. So I don't understand why you opened a brewery making, mediocre beer. Number three, Justin, taller than I thought you'd be, but if you want to fight me, let me know the time and place. I'll be there. Number four, JP.
Who has said I want to fight you?
Seriously, suck it so well. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Number five, Tasty, cool dude. It's not too longer.
Clearly, he got cookies.
Finger bang, some helpless woman. I think that's all I got.
Next.
Thanks, guys. It was a real treat.
Thank
you. All right. When do we get to the good ones?
My favorite part was whenever they actually they like Tasty. That was the best part. Talking shit on everybody. It's like whose friend? I mean, like, who is this guy? You must know this guy.
That's how it always goes because people are afraid to talk bad about Tasty because he's about to die.
That's when I said next.
It might be the last thing he hears.
Yeah. He said that I was great.
People are
Just saying.
Actually, he said you
Tasty, you and I.
He said you sucked it great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard it right.
That's still a compliment, is it not?
Okay, I guess
that's
you're
a
right.
compliment.
You're totally
Thank
right.
you very much.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Skilled in the mouth stuff.
Dare you?
What else do we have?
This one's another three-parter, but it's much shorter. This is Zach from Vegas.
Oh, God.
Hold on.
I'll call back. I remember what I was going to say.
Okay, so then he did call back.
Wow.
I have a stop drinking problem. I don't like to stop drinking.
I have a stop drinking problem.
You know what I mean?
Oh man, I'm just getting depressed.
Anyways, yeah.
He likes Spanish music too.
Spanish ska.
Devo kicks ass for dealing with you assholes every week. So I gotta go rock out with my cock out, hang out with my leg out, and shit and stuff.
Well, sleepy guy wins.
I will, by the way, so I will talk to you guys a little bit later.
All right, and then here's the last one from our friend Brandon Zeddies.
Yeah, this is Brandon Zeddies calling. I'm the guy who sent in a few metal songs and stuff. I'm calling for a couple different reasons. I'm calling for Drone of the Week and also feedback, I suppose. We'll start with feedback. You had Gordon Strong on a couple weeks ago and played the song Sober by Tool and said that it was the best Tool song ever. You're wrong. That would be the song Jimmy by Tool. I forgive you.
Touche.
As far as Drunk of the Week goes, I've been drinking a lot of double IPA that I brewed. Mike McDowell, you know what's up. Double IPA, you know what I'm saying? And then some shout-outs here. Nathan Smith, you're an absolute beast with information. Mike Dole, thank you for answering all of my homebrewing questions. Jay, you're friggin' awesome for
One vote, Brandon.
doing your thing.
Evan Price, you're the best.
Devo, I met you and Sam. You guys are pretty rad. JP, the struggle is real, my brother. I'm with you all the way. And Moscow and Jay Goodwin, the Sour Hour is rad.
Wow.
I'm digging it.
Oh, man. It's bonerific for sure.
He thinks you guys are one person.
There you go.
Okay.
You can't buy our love.
Dude, he loves the Mexican, man.
All right, let me do a quick recap here. Here's what we have to vote on tonight. Our first caller was calling after BNA 10, and he really liked all the beers that were there, and that was cool. Our second caller wanted to be Drunkard of the Week. He had a lot of kale, kombucha, and Earl Grey, and then, wasn't feeling too well afterward.
Namaste.
Our third caller was from Denmark. He was riding a bicycle home. He called in 3 times, and then finally his wife was not satisfied with him arriving at the door.
Yeah, he really liked Beardy, if I remember correctly.
He was also Beardy's first
That doesn't
fan.
help him, so you shouldn't bring that up.
50 miles or 50 kilometers, whatever.
Then we had a caller from Fort Worth. I can't read my own notes.
Texas?
But,
is that Texas?
Yeah. and he was from Texas and stuff. Number 5 was Bung Chug called in. He's a big fan. He called
Chuz.
Chode.
I thought it was Bung Chug.
I think it's Chuz.
Chuz?
He writes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that guy. He was a big fan. He had a lot of nice things. Well, he didn't have nice things to say except for maybe about Tasty.
Is that your friend or brother, Chustin?
Yes, Bung Chug is.
Bung
yeah.
Chustin.
He's actually my cousin.
Tight.
So, Zach called in, and he has a stop drinking problem
because the struggle is real.
The struggle is real to stop drinking. I have that.
Oh man, I got so depressed listening to that one. Man, please don't vote for that. That was the worst.
I'm leaning towards Zach, and then finally,
He was the drunkest.
Brandon Zeddies wrote in, and he had other things to say. So.
I vote for the sleepy guy.
Yeah.
The number 2, he wants to be drunkard of the week.
Yeah,
dude,
the one from Vegas or whatever.
He's being healthy.
Oh, that was Zach. The stop drinking problem.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, JP votes Zach.
Yeah, he was the only drunk one.
I mean, he was drunk.
Yeah.
No.
He was the only drunk one.
He was like the star of the movie Leaving Las Vegas. Very depressing.
Yes, dude. I like the guy that has that cartoon voice where he sounds like
the store.
Yeah, he sounds like a computer at the same time somehow.
All right, Evan's voting for kombucha. Okay,
Matt, I'm going with the bike guy because he had persistence. And that's what it takes to make it in this business. You
I
have to
agree.
Keep going.
I mean, he bicycled home for 7 days, and then his wife
Denmark from here. I don't
to
know
fucking
that was
Denmark.
I'm not good at geography, but I don't know if that's
Just
possible.
wanted to let you guys know I'm still alright. I'm still alive.
Still riding. Brad, what do you think?
I got to go for a Vegas guy, man. I mean, first off, he's at least not at the tables, right?
Right. No, because he's
plus, he was the drunkest, and we can't make a joke of this.
Sure, because he's going to kill himself tonight.
Oh, man.
He might already be dead. His message is like 6 days old.
Tasty, who do you want?
I gotta
4
go.
mics just got thrown in Tasty's direction.
Not the first time.
In the spirit of the award, I have to give it to the Vegas guy.
Okay.
Because his voice, he sounded like he had his face in the toilet bowl as he was talking.
Yeah.
Had a certain echo to it.
Or the shotgun in his mouth. That could have been him talking down the barrel of a... Yeah. Okay.
Is that what you call one of the ladies of the night in Vegas?
Yes.
Or the shotgun?
A toilet bowl.
Yeah. Face in the toilet bowl?
Depends on where you shop, but pretty much. Moskowitz?
Yeah, I'm going Zach. He was hammered.
Okay, a lot of
Drunk
votes.
of the week.
A lot of votes for Zach. Beardy?
Besides Denmark saying that he liked me, he was also drunk enough to knock on the door and wake up his wife late at night.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to open the door himself
He didn't have a
with
key.
the keys in his pocket.
And soaking wet and drunk.
Right, and biked home.
That's the thing, man. So you're voting for him.
Yes.
Going for bicycle.
First fan, that's cool.
On that note of just selfless, shameless promotion of oneself, I'll take Brandon. No votes. He shouted out the Sour Hour.
He
Come
did,
on.
yeah.
The Sour Hour now on the Brewing Network. Last episode is up on iTunes.
Bevo, you want to put in a vote?
I was also going to vote for Brandon.
Okay, 2 for Brandon.
Yeah, man, that Sour Hour, though, dope.
You voted, right?
That
Joe?
Sour Hour, though.
All right, well, we have a tie for second place, which is Brandon Zeddies and the bicycle dude.
Second place?
That's second place. I'm just pointing it out.
Oh, okay.
That was the only other tying.
Building
vote.
up the suspense?
Yeah. And then I'm also going to vote for Zach because he's not going to be with us for very long. So, Drunk of the Week, Zach from Las Vegas. Yeah.
I wonder if he remembers leaving the messages.
Zach, if you'd like me to give the eulogy at your wedding, I am available for $5,000. Funeral. See, I confused a wedding with
kind of the same thing.
They are the same thing.
I always get those two confused.
When it comes to that person, it is the same thing.
What do you have coming up? A funeral or a wedding, JP? I forget.
You take your pick.
Yeah. I always get confused.
You look good either way.
That's right, you do.
Right.
They make you look great.
Right.
All right, Zach, you're our Drunk of the Week. Send it if you can remember tomorrow, I guess. Send Bevo an email, bevo@thebrewingnetwork.com, and then we have some Noble Ale Works swag to send you.
Yeah, you said it right.
Yeah. You're going to look handsome in your casket with a Noble Ale Works T-shirt on.
Oh, man, yeah.
Everyone needs a diaper. So.
Yeah, we have some Naughty Sauce shirts for
Talk
you.
about your marketing dollars going far. Right now, we're gonna send Shimky out to Zach's funeral.
Yeah, it's going to go 6 feet under.
To get photos of Zach in a Noble. Anyway, you get the idea.
We do.
Are we done here?
No, we have Twitter game.
All right, before we do that, hey, have you ever heard of Adam and Eve?
Yeah, I think. No. I thought it was Adam. The thing is, I thought
Not
it was
the biblical version.
I thought it was Adam and Steve. I mean, that's the thing.
Different. AdamandEve.com. It's a great place where you don't have to. Brad, you should listen to this. You don't have to go to the creepy store anymore.
Because I get all my butt plugs and vibrators
from the Anaheim
12
swap
to
meet.
16-inch dildos. From there, have you? There's four different stands for that. The Anaheim swap meet.
Oh man! Hey, by the way, did you guys see
Ronaldo's
that CNN ISIS flag thing?
Yes.
With all the dildos
right.
and butt plugs.
You don't have to go to ISIS anymore to buy your dildos, butt plugs.
Because you can go to AdamandEve.com.
You can go to AdamandEve.com.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You can use coupon code BNARMY right now, BNARMY. You can get all the needs filled that you need to fill.
Justin, what are the needs that you need filled?
Me personally?
Yeah, I mean, let's dive into your life for a moment.
Just go ahead and say all of them.
Yeah, pretty much all of them. I need a lot of needs filled.
Yeah.
3 holes. That's the spot right there.
Hang on, let me keep going.
Yeah.
So this one time I had a need, and I totally filled it.
Oh, I was right there.
You took me back with you. It was
Use
amazing.
coupon code BNARMY. You can get dildos and movies and things, and 50% off just about any one item, and then you get a free gift, and you get free shipping, and you get 8 DVDs. You get a lot of DVDs.
Yes.
Which is cool because DVDs are still a thing. And AdamandEve.com, coupon code BNARMY. Why'd I have fruit flies flying on me? I showered today, I swear.
They're everywhere. I have to cover my beers because they get in. And
we have an issue.
Are you sure they're not regular flies?
I bought a trap.
That's a good question. They could
Oh, yo, Brad, can you fill us in on flies for a moment?
Well,
first the earth.
Redlands equals flylands.
The flies.
Way to bring it back, Jay.
Closing the loop
Way
here.
to bring it back.
Man, his radio leads.
So, if a fly lands on, say, me or somebody, what does that mean?
My guess, just knowing flies, and just observing flies and how flies behave and things like that. I would assume they think you're a piece of shit.
Drunk of the week goes to Brad, switching it up.
Oh, we forgot to interview one of you for Drunk of the Week before we gave it to a call, but never mind.
Oh, man.
There's always next time, guys.
My favorite thing is having, somebody around or visiting Redlands and a fly lands on them, and it's just like, oh, man, I think that fly thinks you're a piece of shit.
Well, that's the thing. You're
the fly lands on you, and you're
hoping, because everyone, you think that they're thinking you're disgusting, you're dirty and stinky.
Yeah.
It's because flies don't like, good smelling things,
It never lands on you because you just got out of the shower.
Oh, man. Someone just cut like a mango wide open. There's not flies just moving toward it.
You don't see flies landing on flowers,
Right.
That's a bee thing, but it's I love this whole idea.
Would you guys say you have a lot of friends or not very many?
But this really is a perfect observation because you could never say to somebody God, you must have just put on deodorant. You go.
When the fly's buzzing around your head, won't leave you alone.
Right now.
It's so embarrassing. Man, I hope the person I'm talking to doesn't think I stink like a piece of shit. I look like a piece of shit. I always assume I look and smell like a piece of shit. I don't want this person to. This fly is telling the truth about me.
Right. You don't want the person to know it.
Right. Exactly. Just please don't believe the fly.
So you go to the Redlands to feel better about yourself, looking at all the flies swarming around other people.
The people of Redlands are just wonderful people. We shall not talk.
My favorite thing was Brad and I went into this long story back and forth forever about why a fly lands on somebody, and so it was when I was in Redlands last, it landed on my friend Joe.
It's a great story.
So my friend Joe, who's I don't know, the lead brewer, he's right below Kevin, the head brewer, and fly lands on him, and I'm like, oh yeah, scientists have actually been studying this a lot lately, and you know what? Actually, they have they're smarter than what we thought, and they can actually they know character and kind of how people are, and so this fly, for instance, knows that you're a piece of shit.
I'm going to use this.
And I caught him so off guard. He just sat there like, what the fuck just
Wasn't
happened?
he like interviewing a guy too? Like it was in the middle of something like really important.
Yeah. Oh, he was like interviewing somebody. Or, like it was like this moment of like this Padawan that's like standing to his left or whatever, and then he's proud rooster stance and then this fly fucking lands on him.
By the way, for the record, JP is covered in bees.
He's sweet as honey.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Twitter game, JP. I can tell you really want to get it off your chest.
No, I don't. I don't have to do it if you want. I'll delete every answer right now.
Brad's never listened to the show. What's the Twitter game?
Twitter game tonight was why won't Beardy shut the fuck up?
Twitter is a thing that's 140 characters.
Shut the fuck up!
Is that your voice?
All right. So Rude Boy Brewing says Beardy won't shut the fuck up because he's so blind he has to use echolocation to see.
Oh, he's like a bat.
So he's making noises. That's why he won't ever stop talking.
I can see that about you.
Mike Carroll says millions of yeast cells yanking down on his beard, continually treating his mouth like a marionette. I'll just go ahead and erase that one now, Mike. You should really go ahead and delete your Twitter account. Marcus Harton says it's just a lack of coaching from Justin.
Oh, yeah, that's your
I
fault.
should take responsibility
It's
as,
really your
as
fault.
the manager or whatever
Yes.
I am. Yeah.
Whatever you do.
Sugar Valley Brewer's back, and of course he says Beardy won't shut the fuck up because when he leans into the microphone, he has a better view of Bevo's ass.
Thank you, Bevo.
I don't know how that's possible. I'm in the studio right now.
Spider Wrangler says the same crippling insecurities and failings he tries to distract people from with his beard.
That was a long one.
Yeah, but
it was like that was like
funny.
a fucking sour beer name from Rare Barrel.
Oh man, those guys are the best. I mean the worst.
Right. Flies land all over their beer in Redland.
Melavina Metery says his blindness leads to his lack of being able to read body language.
Okay.
Draymond Wright just said D's nuts.
I don't think you said that correctly.
How does it go?
Yeah, it's
I
actually
believe it's truck nuts.
No. It goes D's nuts.
It's
truck
something
nuts.
close to that.
Oh, I would have done it, but I can't hit those flat, sharp notes like you did. And then last but not least, Von Brewski says Beardy doesn't talk that much. He's only Justin's fall guy for all the shut-ups he really wants to say to Nicole.
Oh, that was
So there you go.
That's a good win, though. That's
a
a
good
nice.
win.
That's a come from behind win right
There
there.
you go. Von
Yeah.
Brewski.
1, 2, 3 into the foe. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the dough.
Ready to make an entrance, so back on up.
Because you know we're about to rip shit up.
Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble.
Okay, Long Beach.
See, we got some. We got some fans.
G thing, baby.
You know those times when you're embarrassed for other people in the room? That's
No,
not you?
I've never had that happen.
No, that's too bad.
Did your pee-pee go inside of itself?
We're confident people. We don't
I'm
worry
actually
about this.
uncircumcised, so
inside
yes.
of myself.
The Noble guys like to hear themselves talk. I'm pretty sure. So everybody hates us.
No, nonsense.
Your brewery's on fire.
Only
right now.
JP hates you, but that's a
I
good
hope
sign
so.
of that you were good.
Which one's
I don't hate
JP?
anybody.
I keep forgetting who he is. It doesn't matter.
The one
That
behind
guy
you.
right there.
The woman behind the glass.
Yeah.
No, she's rad.
She is rad.
You don't know.
Because she doesn't give me cricket
person.
noises.
This is great.
Oh.
Yeah.
This isn't G-Thang, is it?
1, 2, 3 into the foe.
It's the extended intro.
This is like somebody This is somebody listening to it at a house party and recording it on their phone and posting it on YouTube.
Don't record this. I don't have my bass. I'm only in my tweeter. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
All right, thank you to Noble people.
Yay!
We're so sorry.
Nonsense. Noble Ale Works was in the house tonight. You can go to noblealeworks.com and check them out right now. You can look at the beers on tap. You can see where to go visit them. They're handsome people that wear Hawaiian shirts from Ross.
Yeah,
and
dude.
If you go to the brewery, you'll know this.
Or as Schumann says, Ross dress for less.
That's right.
The
Anaheim,
tagline is part of
California.
the name.
It's all one
It's
thing.
one thing.
Yeah, we're in Anaheim.
Yeah.
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 Don't judge us by the website. Just have a beer. They're pretty good.
Dudes, thanks for coming up, for
beers.
driving up and do the show. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
thank you,
That was
thank
fun.
you. Sure.
I'm sorry that your shit got broken into, and at least it didn't happen in Concord, I guess.
Oh man, it wasn't the Cellar Maker's fault either. It was
Okay.
not.
It was not.
It was City Beer's fault.
Side note: we saw a homeless guy smoking crack last night.
First
that was
time.
amazing.
Yes. Are you staying in Concord or San Francisco tonight?
Tonight we're staying at Jay Goodwin's house of the Rare Barrel.
So you'll also see a dude smoking crack.
But he's not home.
We're going to tear him up.
Yeah, man. We have big plans of continuing this intoxication. should be
Love
good.
it.
Yeah, and other stuff.
Good. Thank you guys for coming up. I appreciate it.
Stuff.
Other stuff.
We've got Noble Ale Works beer on tap at the Hop Grenade. I suspect it'll be here for at least another couple days because we bought tons of kegs of it, which I'm excited about. So come on out and try the beer, and please come back, guys. We only scratched the surface, so you got to come do the show again. You know,
Yeah, we'll scratch the surface.
you'll get back to us on that
again.
And the seedy underbelly.
Yeah, we'll get right back to you on
I'll
that.
let you know.
Right. All right, Jippy, are we ready to get out?
Yes.
Let's go. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Drop the hook, Mike.
JP's an asshole.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. The Noble Ale Brewing Place people came up from Anaheim despite being only 5 miles away from Disneyland. What a bunch of jerk-offs. If you just can't get enough of JP, check out his non-beer, Disneyland-centric podcast, Ears Up. Peep that sucker at earsuppodcast.com. And remember, that's ears with a Z. Warren sat down, and we'll get up very soon. For some good beer insight and homebrew info, follow Nate Smith and Nathan Homebrew and Mike McDowell at Tasty McD. Production director on the session has been Push Eject. Today's show has been produced by Scott Moskowitz. JP was happily drinking session beers all night. Bevo was emailing Beck's Brewing. And your host was Justin Crossley. Be sure to find the Brewing Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy, and when